Everything in this universe has a beginning. The Big Bang. The formation of nebular matter into stars and planets. The first collections of amino acids in the Earth's oceans. The first creatures to leave them. The first mammals. The first primates that walked upright. The first religion. The first printing press. And ultimately, the first synthesizer. Robert A. Moog created the first practical, playable instrument way back in the late 60s. And no matter how powerful the synthesizers of our day, nothing comes close to that lovely, warm and organic sound of a Moog synthesizer. Here is an example for you to ponder.
Hello! Oh, lights. Hello. More technical difficulties. Hey everyone. Yeah, I can never do this without screwing something up. Hey everyone, it's Foxx from Model Making Guru here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to Warhammer Sunday. Right, I think everything's set up. I wasn't quite as efficient with the mixing and the stuff. Yeah, it didn't go well. And I forgot to get my Imperial Knight out to show you. Hang on. Hang on. I'm not organised. Do you know? So we'll get to that in a minute. Hey everyone, how are you doing? Foxx here. Welcome to another Sunday. For those of you who've never seen Warhammer Sundays before, this is me building my Warhammer army, taking time out during the week doing proper builds. I say proper builds, but doing builds. At the weekends, I do my Warhammer stuff and I'm building up my Warhammer army, the unending forces of the holy contrivance. I've got 8 trillion things built. And we're building more things, and then at some point we'll get to the painting. So yes, last week, if you remember, we finished off the Imperial Knight, or rather I almost finished it off. It is now done, and it's only blue tacked together, so all these bits will fall off, but it's done. Yeah, Carl, the Mancunian pilot, is like, hey, look at me knight, it's buzzing, it's well hard. Come on then, if you're thinking hard enough. Yeah, let's go down to club. Yeah, banging. So he's been done, so that is done. So we're going to move on to the next building bit today. But before we do, let me just do the quick introduction for everybody who's watching who may not have watched before. Like I said, this is Warhammer Sundays. I will just sit here and work on my Warhammer army. The camera is right in the way. It's right here and my head is kind of here. It's just really annoying. I didn't plan that well. I will work on my army of the Warhammers and hang out with you guys. If you're watching this anywhere except YouTube itself and you can't see the live chat, do come and join the live chat, because I'll be giving stickers away later on and stuff, and we'll be having a laugh and I'll be hanging out with the chat and asking questions. I do depend on you guys in the chat to ask me questions and talk about stuff, because otherwise I'll have nothing to talk about for 3 hours. Oh, so yes, if you are watching somewhere that's not YouTube, say on the Patreon page or through Facebook or Discord or anything like that, just click on the little YouTube icon at the bottom right of the page. It's down here somewhere on the player. That will take you to the YouTube page where you can see the live chat, and you are more than welcome. The fun in this stream is not actually watching me do anything, because I will do very little work. I really will. But it's more just hanging out with each other and having a good time. As always, if you're in chat and you want to ask me a question, please put the whole thing in big fat capital letters so I can see it a mile away, because I'll be down here doing worky and I might not see your question. I probably will miss a lot of the conversations and chat, so apologies. If you want to make your comment really obvious, you can do a super chat. Click on the little dollar icon at the bottom of the chat. That will pop your question in a big coloured box, and that way I won't miss it at all. Or you can send me an email to modelmakingguru@gmail.com, although I might not get that because my phone's over there and I'd have to go into my email and my computer may explode because I've got so much running on it. And thank you to, who did that? Was that Jordan Nash? Thank you very much, Jordan. That now leads me on to the next thing. For those of you who've not watched before, we have the boss battle going on. Yes, we have a stream boss battle. I am the current stream boss, and you can try and defeat me. Basically what happens is I have HP here. How many have I got at the minute? I've got 79,575 HP out of 100,000. Now what you can do is basically you can knock my health down. How do you do that? If you do a super chat on here, then that takes a little bit of my HP off. If somebody subscribes to the channel during the stream, if somebody hang on, enormous coffee required, enormous coffee. Oh god, coffee mate. Oh, I ran out of milk. Oh, I've had to put coffee mate in it. Oh, it's not the same. I'll start all that again. If somebody subscribes, oh god, I'm going home now. If somebody subscribes to the YouTube channel while we're watching, that'll take a little bit of my health off. If you do a super chat, that takes a little bit of my health off. And also there is now a tip jar, which is down here. Every time somebody makes a tip in the tip jar, that also takes some of my health off. Why do you want to do that? Well, 2 reasons. One, to help support this channel, keep me going. But more importantly, whoever does the fatal blow, the blow that knocks my health down to 0, that person will win a Warhammer kit of their choice, and it could be anything that you can get in a Warhammer store or from the Warhammer website, so it includes web store exclusives, not Forge World, but anything. Doesn't matter how much it costs. It could be a little figure, it could be a big dragon, it could be, ooh, who's that? Oh, Tony Black, thank you very much. It could be an entire box set with 50 dudes in it, whatever the modern version of the Dark Vengeance, I've forgotten what it's called, Dark Imperium or something, that big. It could be anything. If you're the one that gets my health down to 0, you become the stream boss, and I will buy for you any Warhammer kit of your choice. And then when you're the stream boss, people can carry on doing the same thing with tips and super chats and subscriptions. It will knock your health down, and when your health gets to 0, whoever got you to 0, I will then buy that person a Warhammer kit of their choice, and it will go on forever. So, as I say, we're down to about, I don't know, what was it? Now we're on 76,575, so we've got quite a way to go. I expect it will take quite a long time to get my health down, and then each time somebody becomes the new stream boss, it will take quite a while. So it's going to go on for a long time before anybody gets spooged off the boss thing. So yes, but if you are watching and you're not seeing the live chat, do come and join in. It's awesome fun. Everybody in there is awesome, and we're all idiots, and we just have a good time because I get bugger all work done and I just hang out with you guys. So let's have a look and see who we have in chat. If you're not aware, by the way, the Imperial Skitter video, the Imperial Skitter has now been finished. The last episode has gone up for patrons in early access. That's up now for Patreon supporters, and it will be coming out for everybody else on Thursday, I think, this final part where I finish the diorama off and get the damn thing finished. Also, a video went up yesterday, which was just something I put together. It's a little sort of guide. A lot of people ask me how to do YouTube videos, or things to do, things to watch for, and how to make them, popular and people to watch their stuff. So I put up a little Fox explaining things, just explaining some handy tips and hints as to how to make sure your videos are good and also get seen. So go and have a look at that as well. Right, who have we got in? We have Sean Law. Oh, a couple of other housekeeping moments. Somebody asked, I'll get my words out. It's very hot in here. Somebody asked if there is a leaderboard for the tip jar. There is. When you go to the tip jar address, which is down there, so I can't point, down here, it does show a little leaderboard of who's tipped the most. And also, I said last week that the tips and stuff, when they come through, it will take my health down even when we're not streaming. I was incorrect. It's only while we're streaming that tips and super chats and subscriptions detract from my health. So only when we're streaming. I will be doing another live stream on Tuesday as well, not a Warhammer one. There's your teased. So you'll have more chances then, and it will carry on there. So here we go, and we've got Sean Lloyd. Hi, Sean. I need my helmet of seeing. Thank you very much, Sean. You're very, very kind. I'm going to turn my volume up on PC so I can hear when you do stuff, because I have to lean over to my PC to see who's just done what. Jake Manzanal is in. Good afternoon to all. He says coffee. I really don't like coffee, mate. And if you're wondering, by the way, I don't know if Che's in, but if Spid is in, it's not special coffee, it's Dow Egbert's, because my cafetiere doesn't make enough to fill the enormous mug of happiness, so I had to use normal stuff, and I ran out of milk, so I've had to use Coffee Mate. So it's got powdered coffee, sugar, and Coffee Mate. You're rolling in, well, you're not in your grave, obviously, but you're vibrating furiously in whatever you're in at the minute. I can hear it from here. We have Tony Blackwell's in. Hi, Tony. Multi-Demon, hey Multi-Demon, well hello. Jordan Nash, welcome Jordan. James Lorimore. Scott Sutherland, Scott saying, hello Scott, how do you do? That's not even a good Orcadian accent. I can't do an Orcadian accent. Chris the Pyro's in, hey Chris, one of many Chris's. Aviad Madar is in. His Games Workshop Nights pre-orders are up, so no cigarettes, coffee or food this month. Yeah, I will be getting some new night kits, but I'm going to have to save up a little bit, bills to pay this month. I'm probably going to go for, they're releasing the two new big massive nights, the Castellan and the other one that I can't remember what it's called. I might get one of those, or what I might do is when they release that new box set that's got 2 nights in it, that's going to be 2 nights but for less than the cost of 2 nights and some scenery, I might get that and just have 2 extra nights. So I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. But we'll see. Who's mailing me? Somebody's mailing me. Ooh, that's the pledges. Take my phone out my thing so you don't see all my credit cards. I'll put my phone there because then that's be handy if you mail me. Yeah, if you do have a question you can't get into the chat, just drop me an email. I can do it that way. Who else do we have? But it might be a while before I get those nights, because at the moment I've just got Patreon. Oh, that's one other thing as well. Patreon payday's just been. So tomorrow, Monday, I will be going to the post office to post off all the stickers, the big spaceship that was won, the Virtus Praetors that were won the other week, and all the prizes that are waiting to go out. They'll all be on the diary as well, the little notebook. They'll all be posted out tomorrow. So keep an eye out for your prizes if you're waiting for stickers or some of the prizes. Let's have a look. Who else have we got? Ghost Lyle is in. Pineapple. Sean Lloyd says Tron. Pineapple, pineapple. Rinks Near is in. Hello. The best kind of noms. There will be special noms. I'll show you that in a minute. Oh, Spid is in. Hello, plastic fiddling fellows and fellowettes. Yes, Spid. Are you oscillating wildly now with this nonsense in the cup? I like Dow Egberts. We put coffee mate in it. It just becomes a big litre cup full of ass. But I need the caffeine, so there you go. And because I said bad things about tea when I did my video about the coffee, one of my followers is actually sending me some tea, some proper tea. So stay tuned for that as well in the next few weeks. I'll drink some proper tea and see how it looks, see how it tastes. Who else do we have in? John Redmond's in. Hey John. Somebody mentioned Iron Brew. Iron Brew, made in Scotland from Girders. I like Iron Brew. I've not had it for years, but I love it. Proper Scottish drink. Aye, apart from whiskey. Aye. Aye. Who else do we have in? That's Andy Butcher's in. Hey Andy. Oh, Mr. Chat just jumped. I probably missed somebody out now. Smooth's in. Hey Smo. Farts loudly in the room and blames Fox. You can't. Oh, I went a couple of nights ago. I went to bed. I had the trumps from. I was trumping non-stop till I woke up in the morning. I didn't get much sleep because it was like and big, massive window rattlers. I don't know what I ate. I really don't know what I ate, but it was most amusing. It was most amusing. Guys, wipe your screens or glasses. Lol, says Spid. Grey Fox, yo, how is it going? Yo, Grey Fox. Wow, 4 bars now. Let's have a look at the health meter. Yeah, you want. 1, 2, 3 and a bit, 3 and a half. We're getting close. I think it'll take a while for you to get my health down, but it might do. Depends. Is he in property development? Ha ha ha! I'll get my coat, says Spid. It's I can't remember the name. I do apologise. German fellow. I'll remember at the end of the stream after I finished doing it. Randy Wahlberg's in. Lynn Dipple's in. Hey Lynn. Mr. Loaf, Vincent. Hi Vincent. How are you doing, my friend? One of these streams, Vincent, I'll actually get the figures that you sent me and I'll be cleaning them up, like getting all the nubs off and stuff, because I've got to do that yet. Randy Wilberg says, morning from British Columbia. Morning, eh? You missed. I hope you didn't miss the Oh Canada at the start. Jake Manzanal. So, Mr. Fox, what is your giveaway today? Stickers or anything? What do you want? I've got nothing to give away, because I'm skint. I did the things I've given away in the last couple of weeks were things I actually bought myself. And as I've said before, when I do giveaways, it's either stuff I bought myself that I'm never going to get made. Occasionally something that someone's gifted me and I've asked their permission to give it away because I want to do a giveaway. Or stuff that, say, a retailer or a manufacturer sends to me to give away. So if you are a retailer or manufacturer of fine model kits and you do, for some dumbass reason, watch my stream, do feel free to get in touch to send me stuff to give away as prizes. At the moment, I can't afford to buy anything to give away, so it's stickers today. I do have a couple of things to give away, but I might leave that a week or two. Or should I? No, you know what? Later on, I'll go and get 2 things that I'll give away. We'll have 2 giveaways. I'll go and get them in a bit. You know what? You've talked me into it. Smooth is just chilling, having a coffee with some Iron Brewers backup. Aight. Lapsang Souchong says Spit. I don't know, it's just tea. I don't do tea. Earl Grey hot in shouty British accent. Well, I actually specifically said not to send me Earl Grey because Earl Grey's horrible. Fine Fox, and you'll get them. You'll get to them when you get to them. At least you'll do something with those figures other than collecting dust. Oh no, don't worry. I'll be cleaning them up. They've already had them on display in my big army. So I've got to just get all the nubs off and stuff and give them a bit of a sand. Oh, who was that? That was Lee Gallop. Thank you very much, Lee. You're most kind. Can we send stuff to give away? I have lots of kits I'm unlikely to ever make, says Tony Blackwell. Yep, you're more than welcome. I never really thought of that, but if you're not a retailer or manufacturer and you just have something that you're never going to do, if you'd like to send it to me, I can certainly give it away as a prize on the stream. It would also be hilarious if you actually won it. You'd send me something to give away and then you'd win it. That'd be brilliant. If I never thought of asking that, but if you're just a viewer, a follower, and you've got something that you're never going to build and you'd like to give it to somebody else, feel free, drop me a message on Facebook or an email. I'll give you my address and you can send it on to me. We can do lots of giveaways. Raiding your mum's cupboards again, Fox, says Smoo. Yeah, pretty much. Can we say iced tea is nice? I used to drink it. I've had iced tea before. That's actually not too bad. I'll take a kit no one plans to build, says James Larimore. Right, tell you what I'll do. I'll go and get the thing we'll give away today. I'll go and show you. So give me 2 moments. I'm going to be away from the telly, so don't be finding all the porn on my iPad. Hang on. Number one of television broadcasting: never leave dead air. I just gave you like 5 minutes of it. Right, we will do some giveaways, because if I'm sending stuff out on Monday, I may as well do some giveaways for these. I have 2 things that I've had for years, never actually used them. I have not just 1, but 2. We're going to do 2 giveaways, not just 1, but 2 pot noodle mugs. Yes, a regular green and a Bombay bad boy. I've never used them. I got them years ago when I got at Christmas, I think. I'm going to give these 2 away because I like giving dumbass stuff away. They're just big, massive mugs, great for your tea or your coffee if you have to drink tea. Green, it's the flavour of the gods, best pot noodle ever. Bombay bad boy, it's alright. It's not as good as green. And it is, of course, the food of the gods. So you can proclaim your love for the food of the gods whilst drinking your coffee. So we'll do those later, yes. Oh, if I sound out of breath, it's not that I've just run up the stairs. It's like it's really, really hot and muggy today. I'm having trouble breathing because it's so muggy and horrible. So we'll do those later. There will also be one other thing today, and we'll do some work in a minute. I'm going to have some special noms. I thought I may as well dive into my bag of dried crickets. Yeah, I might regret that. I might not. So we're going to try those in a bit. Never eaten insect before. And Spid, I'll put some aside and put them in a little baggie and I'll send them off to you. So Spid, you need to mail me your address. I think I've got it, but Spid, send me an email with your address on and I'll pop you some in a little baggie. Depending on how many we've got, so we'll be eating them later. Right, so one last look at the chat, then we'll do some work. All the wanting, oh Coolio, I want that chicken and mushroom. Will they fit an actual pot noodle in? Yes, when I got them, they came in like a Christmas pack and it had a pot noodle in it. Like a, you know, the whole thing. So you could empty a pot noodle out into there. It's slightly bigger than a pot noodle thing. Put that there, out of the way. See, I like giving dumb stuff away. It's not always about giving away spanky kits and stuff. And sometimes it's just like, here's some dumb crap I found in my cupboard. You can have it. Because it's just fun. Let's have a look. Called it, says Nimsindurin. Yeah, you did. You did. Ew, says Smoo. Chow mein will be better, but chicken and mushroom. Says Spid. I can't talk to you anymore. If you like the pot noodle chow mein, you're just not a normal person. You taught me on coffee. You're not gonna convince me on the chow mein. It's not a natural thing, that. Yes, you are a star. I'm liking the idea of deep fried crispy insects, says Spid. Sorry, I'll pay more attention in a no. Just sending a stool, says Jerry. There's too many jokes in there, Jerry, to that statement. Do you think they check the Crunchy Cricket factory for insect problems? Well, that's the thing. The FDA says there's no more than 5% of any insect parts in most food products. How does that work when you're actually making insect food? If you weren't trumping last night, you will after those crickets, Law says Gerwin. Yes. I believe you had a very nice party this weekend, Gerwin, in a very nice garden, I believe. Did you ever see the episode of QI where Stephen ate insects? He hated them, says Tony Blackwell. I'm led to believe that a lot of places like roasted and dried insects are very popular. I suppose it depends. If you just have like a raw cricket, it's probably going to be minging. But it's only because of what we're used to. We're used to not eating insects, apart from when we're like 6 and we eat insects because we're kids. So I guess it just depends on what you're used to. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? Right. Let's do some work. Earl D's in. Hey Earl. Right, well, as we finished Imperial Knight, as Carl's absolute Bazin, well-top, banana, kick-ass, well-hard Imperial Knight is done. Today we'll carry on with something else I've got to build. I've got to build my Primaris Intercessors. I've got the Space Marines that Vincent very kindly sent me. They're from the Dark Vengeance pack. I think they're the Blood Angels. They've got all the wings and stuff. But I wanted some just normal Marines as well. Of course, it means I'm going to have to go and buy a Space Marine Codex now and an Imperial Knight Codex. Oh, kind of, that's how they get you. So I've grabbed myself some Primaris Intercessors. So we're going to give these. Spid tells me that he likes the chow mein pot noodles. Spid, just you need to stop saying things like that. I'll get upset. We've got a loose bit. Got a loose pauldron. Oh well, never mind. Lots of decals, of course, because they're just Space Marines. And bases. We don't need no stinking bases, senor. Lots of parts. and colour instructions. I'm liking this trend for colour instructions all of a sudden. Yes. Yes. Oh, that's it. Yes. Yes. Cool. So it's a squad of 10. So I'm guessing, I haven't got the codex, so I'm guessing it's a squad of 10 with potentially 2 heavy weapons. I don't know. What does it say in the book? Let's do the book says tutti I modelli dell'unità passano sosnature ed fully che requiem la lungità con fucile. I can't read Italian. Alle Model der Einheit dürfen das Boltgewehr durch ein Sturmboltgewehr oder ein Stalker-Boltgewehr ersetzen. Für das 5 Modell in Einheit darf einen Unsterlauf-Granatwerfer einhalten. I think that's saying that somebody can change their bolter for a storm bolter, and somebody else can change something for a grenade launcher. Let's have a look. Right. I like to know what I'm building before I do it. All models in the unit may replace their bolt rifle with an auto bolt rifle or a stalker bolt rifle. Okay. Hang on a minute. Intercessor squad. This unit contains 1 intercessor sergeant and 4 intercessors. That's 10 dudes. May to include up to 5 additional intercessors. Okay, so the standard unit is 4 and 1, then the extra 5. Okay, so we've got a squad of 10, including a sergeant. All models in the unit may replace their bolt rifle with an auto bolt rifle or a stalker bolt rifle. What do you reckon? They give you like 1 or 2 of each. They don't give you enough to do everybody. For every 5 models in the unit, 1 may take an auxiliary grenade launcher. Apparently they're not very good. The intercessor sergeant may take a power sword. Okay, so we can swap out the bolt rifles with auto bolt rifles or stalker bolt rifles for everybody. That's kind of cool. And 2 of them can have an auxiliary grenade launcher on their bolt rifle. Okay, that's cool. Right, so I need to write this down with words. I need to write this down. So I need to make a note. So I can have 2 times auxiliary grenade launcher. All auto or stalker. Right, just so I remember as I'm building along, because when I was doing my normal soldiers it was like, okay, I've got 10 of these guys, 2 of them can have this weapon, but because I've got 10, another one can have this one, and I want to make it so it's a working squad, because I will eventually one day maybe play this game. Maybe one day eventually. I won't ever play this game. Let's look at the sprues. Dudes. 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 We've got any duplication of sprues? Let's have a look. We have... No, those 2 sprues are almost the same, but not quite. Then we have that one. Und also we have this one, yeah? Which again, almost the same, but not quite. Cool. I like making Space Marines. Right, let's have a quick look at chat and then we'll crack on. Oh, hey Chris. Chris is in from Gross Model. He's only here because Lynn reminded him. Chris is rubbish, obviously. There's places where people actually eat dung beetles, and that's gross case they have to get them from the poop. Ew, says Ryzen. Hey Ryzen. Interzone 88 is in. Welcome. Am I painting them as Xeon? I forgot to mention that. Yes, they are being painted. The theme for my army is the Principality of Xeon from Mobile Suit Gundam. So they'll all have different colour schemes. And they won't be like strictly based on it. They won't be like, you know, this taken straight from the thing, but they'll be based upon. So I've got a load of like, you know, Xeon decals. And I've got some fluff. My fluff is that somehow there was a rift in the warp or whatever it is in Warhammer. That's the thing that they use for travelling through space and where all chaos dudes come from. And there was a rift in that, and somehow like all the settlements of Principality of Xeon appeared in the Warhammer universe, and they had a choice to either fight the Imperium of Man or just submit to the will of the Imperium of Man and join them and take on their technology. But all the technology that Xeon had was banned because it's heretical. So that's why they have to use bolt guns and Imperial Knights and Warhammer vehicles. They can't use their own technology because it's heretical. It's not. That's my fluff. That's my fluff. So they've all been incorporated into the Imperium of Man. It's just nonsense. It doesn't really matter. What colour manuals? Heresy? Says John Redmond. Oh, sorry. What colour manuals? Heresy! Primaris Intercessor sounds like Games Workshop paid a marketing company way too much money for a new way to say tactical marine. Yeah. Das ist nicht richtig, das ist falsch, says Shmoo. I love the Primaris models, but the naming is so daft. Intercessor, Interceptors, Aggressors. I like the Primaris, but Primaris just makes me think of Primarch and Primarni. So they're almost like budget Space Marines that you can get for a few quid. Non-label. Gary Moores is still collecting paints and tools for the 1999 22-inch Eagle. Cool. It's an awesome kit. I think Mike Mountain's in. Hi Mike, hi Dad. The warp, you got it, says John Remy. Yeah, I knew it was something like the warp. Cool end result on the dial, by the way, Fox, says Spid. Thank you very much. It was good fun. Who could have thought that using just soil and PVA makes brilliant soil? I just made that up. What Citadel paint are you using for the Xeon Green? I don't know yet. I'll use varying shades. I'm going to paint like I'm going to have like the basic bog standard gun fodder troops who'll be one particular colour scheme. There'll be like elites of those who'll be another colour scheme maybe. The heavy weapons guys might have a different pan. I've got to think of a colour for the Tempestus guys. They might be a bit more blingy with some gold on them. Then I've got I'm going to do 3 knights. One as a bog standard Zaku, one as Char's Zaku, and one as a Goof. So they'll be blue, green and red. So I don't know yet. I've not got to the painting part yet. I've got to do lots of planning to come up with some colour schemes. And I've got to figure out colours for my Marines as well. Reavers are my favourite Primaris aesthetically, but they are meh rules-wise. Pineapple, says Lynn Dipple. Hello. Yes. Right, so anyway, I'll have a swig of coffee. Oh, God. Oh, coffee, mate. Oh. Oh. I'll get the excess out of my moustache with the tissue of moustache collecting. Oh, coffee, mate. It really is desperation. The slogan for Coffee Mate should be Coffee Mate when you really can't be asked to go to the shop to get milk. Right, so we have. Well, they actually give you decal placement as well. Hello, there's a first. I'm interested in that. So, we have. I'm gonna guess these are the rank and file. All the bodies. So you make all the bodies. Then you make the sergeant, who can be pointy, gunny, shooty, army, wavy, or more shooty. Could he have 2 guns? Like 3 guns? That one, and that'd be cool. 3 guns. No, you can't. I was hoping you could do like that gun in that hand and that gun in that hand and then that gun there. That'd be awesome. He's still working on the sergeant here. Okay. Right. Well, it looks like all the bolt rifles are all the same, and you change them by adding on a scope for the Stalker bolt rifle, or a magazine, big sort of magazine for the auto bolt rifle. That's quite cool. So they all have the same weapon. That's alright then. That's pretty cool. We like that. Intercessors. These are rank and file. Now we can have exposed faces or helmeted faces. I think we'll be having helmeted faces because I don't want to paint lots of heads. I've got a million bog standard troops to paint with faces and things. Okay, that's cool. We have many things. Cool. Right. So I can have 2 grenade launchers. Does it mention the auxiliary? Oh, there we go. Okay, so the auxiliary grenade launcher goes on the bottom of the rifle. Okay, cool. Right, I'm just going to give myself a bit of a fan because it's really warm. Let's do some work, shall we? Let's make some things. Mr. Fox, can you give me a shout out for me before I sleep because tomorrow is my first day in school, says Jake Mazanal. Jake, have a shout out. Have a great first day at school tomorrow. You'll love it. You'll learn things. You'll put things in your brain, and your brain will feel exercised. Your brain will get bigger, and then you'll be more cool. And then, because you're more cool, girls will like you, and then it'll be brilliant. So, good luck with your first day at school. Thank you for coming in. Make sure you get an early night. Have an early night. So, you know, I'll let you off this once if you need to go and get an early night. But have a good day tomorrow. Oh, so hot and sweaty. Try MRE coffee. Coffee mate is ambrosia by comparison, says Wyatt Turk. I actually have downstairs a box of British Army rations. Days with the rations. I've got to do a video doing those. Originally, me and Tony from Helgen 35 were going to do like a get together and eat rations together because he's ex-army. But we never got round to it, and he's eaten his now, so I will do it at some point. Me going through all my rations. I can't remember what I got in mine, but I didn't get any Screech. Oh, I wanted to get Screech, this legendary British orange juice that makes you go doolally and climb up the walls. I didn't get any. I got Rabina or something instead. Thanks, Mr. Fox, says Jake. I still have my 5 intercessors to paint yet, finishing off my 4 Hellblasters today, so join the other dude I posted in the group recently. Last coffee drink, Mr. Fox, just for you, mate. Hang on, see if I can make it a long one. Oh, my lungs are only so big. Just for you, Jake. Have a good day at school. Be nice to the girls. Don't be pulling their hair and stuff. It never ends well. Right, let's do some work. I need some Nippotrons. I need some, not those Nippotrons. I might keep them to one side just in case. You never know. Do. Right, so do one dude. So 10, 9. Okay, 10 and 9. We can do that. 10 and 9. There's 10. And I will try and do stuff on camera today. Fox, with that last coffee drink, you must be very popular. Yeah, I get all the girls, me. Star. Don't get the girls. That's 10. I need a 9, which is... I'll put the instructions there out of the way. Cover up my phone, which is a really good idea. 10 and 9. Now, if you've watched me do this before, you know that I am the worst builder in the world. See, I don't enjoy the actual building part of model making. I look forward to the painting and weathering. So, the building part kind of bores me. So, I'm kind of not very good at it. I just kind of go really slowly and tediously, and it's quite frustrating to watch. So, yeah. So we'll get these nubs off. His arms, his arm plates. Now these are new moulds, so they should be, hopefully, sensibly nubbed. One would hope. Games Workshop, because some of the, like, if you get the Astra Militarum, the Imperial Guard, they're like 10 or 15 years old now, and the mouldings aren't brilliant, and they've got nubs in all the wrong places. So one can only hope that nowadays things aren't quite that bad. Okay, there's a nub in a bad place there, but we'll get rid of that, it's not too bad. It's so hot and sweaty, I'm shedding pounds as we speak. Oh, it is warm, I'll tell you that. It's not really warm today, it's humid. It's more humid. I did spend a pleasant hour in the garden earlier on. I had to go out and water the skunk cabbage. We have a little pond, and the little pond, I posted up in the boom hut a while ago, but the little pond is entirely populated by this enormous skunk cabbage, which is massive. I mean, the leaves are like 3 feet wide, 6 feet long, and I love it. It's brilliant. It owns the pond. So I went out earlier on today, and the pond was basically 2 feet of gunk and no water. I'm like, oh, you need some water in that pond. So I sorted him out. So that was quite pleasant. But yeah, it's not hot today, but it's really humid and sticky. Not that I'm complaining, because it's better than being in the middle of winter and freezing my butt off. As one girl once told me, I have no butt, so there's not a lot to freeze off. Let me know if my head keeps getting in shot, by the way, because I don't know where the camera is. Quick, protect the god hand, says John Redmond. Yes. Does your coffee mate bring you all the girls to the yard? No, it makes them run away. People that can afford milk. The build is so satisfying when you finish that sweet custom work, says John Redmond. Let's have a look. I was filling in his intercessor packs. Ryzen says, Foxx, would you ever be interested in a Mecha Musume kit like the Frame Arms Girls or the Megami Device kits? Yeah, probably. I wouldn't say no to never doing one. It's not the kind of subject that fascinates me, but I wouldn't not do one, if you know what I mean. A lot of flesh to paint on there, though. Not the best at flesh tones. So that's his chesticles. There we go. And luckily all the panel lines are kind of, all the seam lines are kind of where panel lines would be. There is an annoying nub right there though. That's bad nub placement, but never mind. Get the extra. Somebody mentioned triffids. Oh, is there my skunk cabbage? Are you sure it's not a triffid? Says Sean Lloyd. No, we know it's not a triffid. We did some research because we've had it for years. We don't even know where we got it from. We've had it for years in the pond. We've had the pond for like 30 years. So this skunk cabbage must be, I don't know, 25, 30 years old. And it is huge. It's massive. And I love plants that are unusual, like with massive leaves. And like the leaves on this thing are just like, they're as big as this desk. And it just takes over the whole pond. It's basically that plant owns the pond. No arguments. But it's supposed to be called skunk cabbage because when you damage it or break it or when it flowers, it makes some very rude flowers, look very rude. It's supposed to stink, but it never has. So, but apparently, they're actually illegal now. It's illegal to buy or sell skunk cabbage in the UK because it's an invasive species from the US. 11. So we're like, oh, does that mean we've got to get rid of it? But apparently the law is they're illegal to buy or sell, but if you've got one in your garden pond, it's not the end of the world. If you've got one in your garden pond, is like there's a riverbank involved and it can get out into the wild, then yes, that would have to be removed. But if you just got a garden pond and it's not going to go anywhere or escape, then it's not a problem. Just get these bits off. Bizarrely, talking to Triffids, bizarrely a few years ago, when I was doing a comic strip, I did a comic strip that had a joke about Triffids in it. Just randomly came into my head, so I did a comic strip with a joke about Triffids. Like the next day, the BBC said, yeah, we're going to make the day the Triffids, and I'm like, wow, I can predict the future. So then I made a whole comic strip about that. Just you know, hadn't thought about Triffids in 25 years. Just randomly thought about it, and the next day, we're making Triffids again. I was like, I really can foresee the future without realising it. I'm an inept seer. I can predict the future, but without actually realising it. This plastic is weird. It's kind of... It's not as soft as some of the older kits, like the plastic on the Imperial Knight. It's still soft, but it's not like Airfix soft. It's really strange. I need my seam removal tool. Good night, says Jake. Thanks to all. Good night. Have a great day tomorrow. You too, matey. Enjoy. School food. I actually like school dinners. A lot of people hate school dinners, but I actually like school dinners because I also like airplane food and train food, so I'm kind of weird like that. Seam line right down the stretchy undersuit bit. Thanks for that. Really appreciated. Let's get his little seam lines off. Now, if you know me and you've watched these before, you know I probably won't get much done. I might make like one dude. Might be all you get from me today. You never know. But I usually find that when I do like the first figure in a new set, I'm slow. By the time I get to the last ones, I'm really fast because I've built enough of them and know what I'm doing. I'm familiar with the seam lines and that. Scrape, 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 scraping all the seams away. Hopefully. I do like the fact this armour is nice and chunky and has got a bit more surface detail than your bog standard Space Marines. It's got more little panels and greebles on it and things, which is kind of makes sense because it's a big several ton suit of mechanised armour. One thing about Space Marines that I never really quite got into was the armour is awesome, but when you see it in like paintings or, you know, the artwork on boxes, it's always got those detail on it, and when you actually make the Space Marines, it's just kind of really bland. But then again, they are all kind of old now, those kits. Bit of work to get the seam lines off. I need my dust removal brush. Seam line right down this cuff of his leg. It's most annoying. Seam lines and 90-degree corners. Thanks, Obama. Sean Lloyd says he much prefers British TV to American. There's a reason Netflix and Hulu have British TV categories. We just do it better. Well, there we don't, actually. The stuff we do that's probably better and the stuff you do that's better. Like, our sci-fi is not anywhere near as good. You know, we do some good sci-fi, but sci-fi series, yeah, you can't beat the Americans. Which reminds me, if you live in the UK right now, and you can access BBC iPlayer, there's a little series on BBC iPlayer at the minute called Missions, and it's a sci-fi thing, only half an hour long each. There's about 7 or 8 episodes so far, and it's French, so it's French sci-fi, and it's actually really, really good. Quite an intriguing storyline going on, and it's subtitled. Well, there's some of the characters speak English every now and then, but it's basically subtitled. So I would recommend, if you've got access to, you know, BBC iPlayer, or if it's on BBC America, I don't know, you go and check it out. It's called Missions or Mission, and it's actually really good. These astronauts, these guys, this team of people go to Mars, and strange things ensue. Martian shenanigans ensue, and it's actually really fascinating. And being French, of course, it's not just like American sci-fi is action, and tension. English sci-fi is kind of action and tension with a little bit of characters, but not much. But being French, of course, it's sci-fi coupled with existential angst and interpersonal relationships and shoulder shrugs and all that stuff. It's proper classic French stuff. And it's actually really good. Ping. So I do recommend, if you can access it, go and check it out. Missions or Mission. There's about 8 episodes up so far. I don't know how long it's going to go on for. Don't know how many episodes there will be. And the little ship they're in kind of looks a bit like a steampunk Eagle transporter. It's kind of cool. But yeah, go and check it out. What I noticed about TV a few years ago, I don't watch it. Jerry says, met Ben Browder on a train once, really nice guy. Oh, Stargate. Talking about Stargate, aren't you? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Stargate's my favourite TV series of all time. All of them. Maybe not Universe. So I cancel my TV licence. Can't see the point in paying for something I don't use, says Joanna Hammond. Except if you use it on iPlayer, you just have to have a TV licence. I haven't watched TV in years because 99% of TV is just drivel. Just absolute drivel. Mum was watching the soap awards last night, and it was like, God, the audience was screaming and hollering every time they said, and the award for best character with hair in a soap goes to, and they're all screaming every time an actor comes on the stage, and it's like, this is an auditorium filled with like 30,000 mouth breathers and just bored. It's terrible. I was like, bloody soap operas, get over yourself. It's not that exciting. But yeah, so I haven't watched TV for years because if it's not a soap opera, it's a phone-in celebrity bullshit thing where you've got to vote for your favourite celeb to get booted out of the jungle or Arctic Circle or dance floors. It's just all rubbish. It's just all nonsense. And I still watch BBC stuff like documentaries and science and history and things like that. You know, the intelligent things. I still watch those, and I usually watch them on iPlayer. But in terms of like regular programming, nah. And don't even get me started on ITV. ITV is just a festering, steaming pile of crap. There is nothing good on ITV. Those of you in the UK now, ITV. There is nothing worth watching on ITV ever. It's just wall-to-wall celebrity drivel. I hate celebrity nonsense. There's no interest in the whole cult of celebrity thing at all. It's for vapid people with no lives, people that buy soap. There's actually magazines in the UK, probably get more. There's actually magazines that are just about soaps and all the scandals, and it's like, really? You're buying a magazine about soaps that's... It's like, could you not just have a personality instead? Gary Moore says he loves Interceptors. Gary Moore loves Interceptors when the cops get the bad guys. There's a really great series over here. What was it called? There's two. There's one called Road Wars, which for a while was voiced by the guy that's in Red Dwarf plays Lister. I can't remember his name. I've forgotten his name. All I can think is Danny John Jules, and that's Cat. It was voiced by him, and it was hilarious because he takes the piss out of the criminals constantly. And there was another series called... So that's Road Wars. There was another series called... I think it was called Coppers. And it was on Channel 4. I need to get rid of the seam lines, but I've glued it now. Oh! And it was basically like the typical we follow the police around doing their job. But instead of having this really sanitised interview at the end where they say, yes, well, I caught this guy and he was a bad person, so I put him in jail and now he's dead. Instead of that, they actually just sat there and were talking to camera saying, yeah, that guy was a complete tool and I would run him over, but I can't. So, and it was really good because it really just kind of humanised the people, the police that were in it. Chris says, but you're a celebrity. Get me out of here. I'm not a celebrity. Nim says, same here, it's all phoned in reality TV. Tony Blackwell's been watching the first 7 series of the reboot of Doctor Who. Yes. So who's the favourite so far? Where are you up to? Have you watched all of them? I still think 10 is my favourite. But yeah, television nowadays, I'd much rather go onto iPlayer and pick out the occasional documentary or the occasional history program or science program than have to sit and suffer through just dross and drivel and crap. It's all just awful, horrible. I'm doing grumpy mode, aren't I? Get off my lawn! I'm doing grumpy old man mode, but it's not that I'm old. It's just drivel. The fact that we have, like, magazines about soaps. We have award shows for soaps. I can't flipping stand soap operas. God. It just tells you the kind of mentality of just people out there that keep these things popular. It's like, really? He says, sticking little bits of plastic together. Moving on. Craig David, that's it. Craig David. I should know, because we joke about when Adrian David's on the E-Models streams, we always say Craig David. No, not Craig David. Craig David was the singer, isn't he? No, not Craig David. He plays Thingy in Red Dwarf, not Craig David. Charles Craig, that's it. Charles Craig. Thank you, Chris. Yes, Chris said Craig David, but I saw that comment first. Craig David. Charles Craig, that's it. But then after about 5 seasons, they got rid of him, and they got a woman in doing it instead. And she was off some soap opera, strangely enough. But she was trying to do what Craig David did, like being all funny and pally, but she was just rubbish at it. And it was like, yeah, I'm not watching this now. You have to watch Road Wars just for Charles Craig. You have to watch Road Wars just for Charles Craig's narration. It's hilarious. He calls people spanners and sprockets and nozzles and all kinds of names. There's one particularly funny bit where a guy drives home drunk and you see him from the helicopter camera and he tries to get out of the car and just falls onto the floor. I won't tell you what he says, but it's just hilarious. There's me file. I am sweating cobs. I've only glued 2 things together. I'm sweating cobs already. TV in the US here is all reality TV. I don't like those shows, says Lynn Dibble. No, I can't stand anything reality TV because, again, they typically just focus around the reality of void, vapid celebrity types. I really fear for America at the moment, I have to say. I'm not doing politics or anything, but it does seem that the average American IQ is dropping like a stone. Not the people I know personally, but so much going on over there that you read that just makes you think, how are people not just leaving this country in droves to go for somewhere where, you know, normal people live? I don't know. Spid likes the... Oh, I've got to do it. Spid likes on that says, "Hi, I'm Sheriff John Bonnell, and this criminal is about to learn what the long arm of the law really means." That was... I remember Sheriff John Bonnell. Was that LA... Was it LA Cops or something? Can't remember now. Sheriff John Bonnell. I remember that. America's Dumbest Criminals. That was a good one I used to watch. Like the guy who was stealing license plates off a police cruiser parked right outside the police station front door, which was all glass. And they just filmed him stealing the license plates off this cruiser. They just filmed him through the door, and they're like, "Is he really doing that in front of the... Really? Let's go and arrest him." Sheriff John Bonnell. Was that... Oh, was that... That wasn't Cops, was it? Was it just Cops? Used to have Bad Boys as the title music. Used to like watching that. Back in the day. Don't go past 7 in Doctor Who, but 8 don't exist to me. 8 plus. I don't know. David Tennant is a great Doctor Who. Disney Star Wars is dead to me now. TLJ did too much damage. I'd rather remember it when it was good and not compromise the book canon, says Nate. I can see a lot of people. I can understand why a lot of people think that way. I don't really hate it. I know it's not the same, but if I had the choice between George Lucas making more Star Wars or Disney making more Star Wars, I'm gonna take Disney every time, because yeah, George Lucas kind of shat on his own doorstep a bit, really. Hate to say it, but he did. So as long as somebody's making it and it's not bloody George Lucas, I'll be grateful. Right, well, these little tiny fiddly bits, I'm going to use the knife to get rid of these seam lines rather than the removal tool, just because it's a bit more subtle. Smaller areas and all that. Don't worry, Fox, I'm sure Jar Jar will be in the next one, says Chris. Chris, you're so banned. Chris, can you just ban yourself, please, as a mod? Just ban yourself. Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar. Anyway, you missed his. You got his name wrong. It's not Jar Jar Binks. It's Jar Jar Bleeding Binks. Can't stand Jar Jar Binks. Ugh. It's like I said before. I like the look of Jar Jar Binks. I like the character as a physical object. If you look at Jar Jar, it's an interesting shape and form. I just hate the actual character. I know, right, says Speed. Everyone is slagging Disney and George Lucas screwed up episode 1, 2 and 3 spectacularly, to the point where those don't actually exist at all. Yeah, I mean, everybody like slagged George Lucas off for a decade after those films came out. He raped my childhood and all those kind of phrases, and yet now Disney's making them and they seem to have forgotten that. I just feel sorry for kids who grew up and thinking that 1, 2 and 3 were the only Star Wars movies. I spoke to my neighbour the other day, and his little son, he was I think like 5 or 6 or something, he was saying, oh, he loves Star Wars, he really loves Lego and Star Wars, and he's really into his Star Wars. I said, oh, what's your favourite film? And he said he couldn't remember, he liked them, he's only like 5. I said, which ones has he seen? He said, oh, just, you know, the Attack of the Clones. And I was like, has he seen the proper ones? And he went, no, he's not seen those yet. Within 3 seconds, I'd gone in the house, got my DVD set of first 3 movies, and said, here, you may keep these forever. Please make sure he watches them. This is like, yeah, I'm going to correct this right now. I'm correcting this issue right now. Your son loves Star Wars, but he's not seen the good ones yet. It's a whole generation that grew up, and that was their Star Wars. They might not have even seen like A New Hope and Empire. And so, if you know somebody like that, here's a community announcement. If you know someone who likes Star Wars but has never seen the good films, make sure to take time out to correct that situation. Even if it means buying the Blu-rays or the DVDs to give to them without profit to yourself, just bloody do it. It's a community service. Jar Jar Fox McBeardface says Smoot. Yes. Is it me or is the audio clipping or limiting a bit? It could be. Do I need to turn it down? Am I too loud? Or it could be clipping a little bit. Let me turn it down a little tiny bit. Hang on. Is that any better? Palmer Zero says, got to go and cut grass before it rains. Later, Fox, aka Sunday Cartoons. Thank you for coming in, Palmer Zero. Very kind of you to come in. Star Wars Episode 2 is the best movie, only seen 1 to 3. Oh. Don't make me ban your ass, John. The one badass thing to come out of the prequel trilogy was Darth Maul, and they gave him 6 minutes of screen time and then killed him. Yeah, pretty much. He was a good character in the end. That's the funny thing, right? I can't stand the prequel films, but I didn't mind the Clone Wars animated series. I quite like that. And that's probably because George Lucas had bugger all to do with it. Oh, George Lucas. Ah, coffee. Osric 9000, hey Osric, says, a fellow I work with has not seen Top Gun or Aliens, very disappointing. I've not seen Top Gun in a very, very long time. It's one of those films that I watched when I was much younger and it wasn't really for me, so I've never watched it again. But never seen Aliens. It's not how this works. Alright, so I need to apply some legs to some torsos. Okay, so they've got little like square notches and holes, so they're not variable. That's a shame. It'd be good if they were more variable and you could vary the pose a little bit, but never mind. Action Kagloo. Whoop, it's going to fall. Yeah, I knew it was going to do that. Oh, I knew you were going to do that. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. I do like the sort of the shape of these new Primaris Marines, the more realistic shaped get any glue on. I need to get some more extra thin. I'm not getting any glue on the brush because it's not long enough now. What I shall do is I shall glue on the other leg and then I shall attach it to the base. Base, how low can you go? Just so I can make sure everything's lined up correctly. Where does this go? Like that. Excellent. I'll put some glue on there, I suppose, wouldn't it? Told you, I'm not good at the building bit. The painting bit I'm good at. We should get ourselves a wee little base. How low can you go? Make sure he's stood standing correctly. That doesn't seem right. Well, maybe it is. He's at some jaunty angle, I'll give him that. Some kind of jaunty angle going on. I just read in the comments off the corner of my eye that somebody's got 11 cats. I might have to come back and read that again. Hang on. I want to glue this little dude down first. He seems very leany. Oh, I'm sure it's correct. If you're wondering why I use the thicker glue on the feet, it's just because the extra thin. Let's line this up properly. That doesn't seem right somehow. No. Ours is not to do or die, ours is just to stick things to other things. Yes, the thick glue doesn't have the strength of the thin glue, but it is more sort of almost tacky. So if I've got like this kind of thing where I want to get stick straight away, I'll go in with the thick like that just to get it in place and stuck on, and then I'll run the extra thin round it just to suck under and start the plastic welding. Okay, so that's him. I shall get a little Sharpie to remember who's who. If I can get the pen out. So this is 1A. Just so I know who's who. 1A. There we go. Otherwise I won't remember who the hell everybody is. Which to me super thin glue use, the fast setting one or the slower one? I've only got the normal one at the moment, the regular one. I've not tried the fast setting one yet. I've never seen the Godfather films, says Gross Models, and then says he's banned. I'm going to make you an offer. You come to me, you ask me for favours, you offer me nothing, you give me nothing. Dude. Yes, you've not seen Godfather. Again, that's not my kind of film, but I've seen them. No, I don't know, I've not seen the Godfather. You heathen. Right, the next one. Let's think of good films. What films do I love? Obviously I love Blade Runner, because of course I do. Can't go wrong with Blade Runner. First 3 Star Wars films, all good. Right, I need 18 and 17, and there's 17. If I was going to recommend you to watch films, what would I recommend? Okay, you have to watch, you absolutely have to watch All the President's Men. That's one of those films that you have to watch. All the President's Men, you have to go and watch it. Don't do it now, obviously, because you're watching me now do this, but All the President's Men is a film you should have seen at some point. Similarly, Capricorn 1 is a movie that you must be able to say that you've watched. You just have to. So All the President's Men, Capricorn 1, Dark Star. You have to watch Dark Star. I don't want to feed the alien. Get this little nubbling off. What else do you need to watch? See, I don't know, because I tend to watch movies, but then I kind of watch them, but then forget all about them. I watch them once and then kind of move on. So there's not many films that I'd watch religiously over and over again. But definitely, All the President's Men, if I'm like flipping through something and it comes on, if there's not many films that I'll actually sit down and think, oh, this is on, I'll watch it. If I come across it randomly, but Dark Star, All the President's Men, Capricorn 1, absolutely I would. Given any chance, I'll watch them. Blade Runner, obviously. Once every couple of years, I will sit down and watch. Just talking of things we like to watch. I will sit down and watch and go through Band of Brothers. Love Band of Brothers. If you want classic, now you have to get this on DVD, but if you want classic British historical drama, and I mean really top-notch quality stuff, then forget all your "Oh Mr. Darcy" fiction nonsense. Get on your Amazon or wherever, or your eBay, and find on DVD, because it won't be on Blu-ray, you have to watch I, Claudius, because I, Claudius is a masterpiece. It's like 12 episodes long. Follows the slightly fictionalised, so it is slightly historical fiction, but it's based on reality, but follows the life of Emperor Claudius, Tiberius. Derek Jacobi is Claudius, is absolutely fantastic. And you have to watch Elizabeth R, which was again, they're not really like, they're not fictional drama like, you know, Mr. Darcy and all that kind of crap, but they're based on it's like historical sort of slightly. Elizabeth R is Elizabeth the First. Glenda Jackson's Elizabeth the First. That's good stuff. It's got boobies in I, Claudius. There's boobies in there and everything. So yeah, you have to watch Elizabeth R and you have to watch I, Claudius, or as many people in this country call it, I, Clavdivs. You'll see why. So make sure you watch those. There's a seam line there on the belt. Let me take care of this little blighter. What are we doing in chat? Who took my socks? Says James Lurmore. The sock monster or the cat? Fahrenheit 452 says Sergeant Mears. I haven't actually seen that. There's a horrible admission. I've never actually watched it. I must do at some point. I would recommend THX 1138, but it's a really hard watch. I would recommend Woody Allen's The Sleeper, if he wasn't like a really unpopular person right now, but Woody Allen's The Sleeper is a good film. Blazing Saddles, you've got to watch Blazing Saddles. There you go, I forgot that one. Now the tune's in my head. Soylent Green is great, but you know he's going to discover I'm not actually reading that out in case somebody hasn't watched it. Yeah, Soylent Green, yeah, that's one of the classics, I suppose. Land of the Giants, blind-breasted as Augustus, says Tony Blackwell. Is there anyone here who hasn't slept with my daughter? I can't do the voice. I've got the beard, I just can't do the voice. The scene where, if you've watched I, Claudius, or I, Clavdivs, the scene, and there's no spoilers here because it's historical fact, but the scene where Augustus dies, holy crap, you have to see it to believe it. There's no, I won't tell you what happens, but there's no freeze frames, there's no still shots, it's all live. You hear Livia talking in the background when he's doing what he's doing. It's like, wow. Now I've got the old original TV series Hulk end credits music in my head. Thanks for that, Earl D. James Long has been watching a shit ton of Bob Ross. Excellent. It's good, it's well advised. It's Warhammer and the TV movie show, yeah, says Lynn says. Yeah, we don't really talk about Warhammer much on this Warhammer stream. It just happens that I'm doing Warhammer. Is my head in shot? Do tell me. It just happens that I'm doing Warhammer. Battlestar Galactica. "1981 is a must-see. The book is better, but the film is very good." Gross Model says Superman 4. Superman's just rubbish. I've never liked Superman. He's just such a pointless character. I've never been into Superman. I mean, sort of any kind of caped hero with special powers. Just never been into all that nonsense. That's why I was never into Marvel comics. It's just silly nonsense. Oh, Tony Blackwell says Silent Running. I forgot to mention that. Yes, Silent Running is an incredible film. There was a period in the 1970s where people made movies, and in the movie, not really much happens. Like, you know, Capricorn 1 and All the President's Men and Silent Running. Silent Running is the epitome of a not really much happening movie. If you actually broke it down and looked at the storyline, the plot, there's like 2 minutes of stuff there. But in those days, they had the ability to take very little and make an entire film out of it very, very well. Nowadays, you get like a normal movie and it's got 8 trillion things happening all at once and you haven't got a clue what's going on. There's so much happening on screen, it just breaks your brain. I'm looking at you, Transformers rubbish. 28, I need 28. 22, 2, 23. It's going to be a different sprue, isn't it? Yes. Oh, there we go, 28. Yeah, nowadays, if you go see a film, if it hasn't got like 8 trillion CGI effects happening every 3 seconds, it's just not, it doesn't get made. But go back to the 70s where something like, you know, Capricorn 1, about 4 things happen throughout the whole movie, but yet there's tension, there's drama, there's character. Silent Running, about 2 things happen throughout the course of the movie. Literally 2 things, I think, if I remember rightly. Don't make movies like that anymore. At least not in traditional Hollywood, anyway. The time when Hollywood was almost verging on European theatre, on cinema, but not quite. Now, talking of European cinema, if you want to watch some amazing European cinema, get some education to your brain. Jean de Florette and Manon des Sources. They are fantastic films. I seem to remember La Jetée was also very good, but I don't remember much about it. And I've not actually seen Cinema Paradiso, but I hear it's very good. And when I was a kid, for some reason when I was a kid, I used to absolutely adore, talking of European cinema, I used to adore Jacques Tati films. Famous French visual comedian Jacques Tati. I used to love his movies. Simple movies back then in the 60s and 70s, says Lynn. Yep. Well, they weren't necessarily simple. I mean, All the President's Men is very, very, it's quite complex. The storyline, the politics and everything else is really complex and intellectual, but not a lot happens. Whereas in a modern movie, if there's been 5 minutes without that explosion, it's a box office failure. You know, the movie makers now have to make sure that everything is done in such a way that everybody can understand what's going on, and it has to be spelled out to them. And you know, hence the famous bit where Blade Runner had that dumbass narration at the start or the end or whatever, so that the audience wouldn't be confused as to what's going on. Whereas Ridley Scott was like, no, really, I don't want this narration because it's kind of supposed to be an intelligent film. Spoon feeding. I don't know. Welcome to Sunday Afternoon with Grumpy Old Man. Troll Hunter is my favourite European movie at the moment. Don't know that one. Jacques Tati, forerunner to Benny Hill, far superior to Benny Hill in every single possible way. Benny Hill wasn't actually that funny. Not really. I used to love Jacques Tati movies. Like, there's one scene, I can't remember what the movie's called, but basically he's taking a car to a car show or something like that. I think that's the idea. It's been 30 years since he's taking a car to a car show so it can be on display. That's the entire premise of the movie. He's just taking this car to a car show. And it's like an hour and a half of just all these like visual gags and like slapstick comedy and stuff. But at the very end, there's just this scene where it's the centre of Paris and it's throwing it down with rain, and there's all these cars on the road because like a traffic jam or something. And it just spends 2 or 3 minutes, it just cuts from car to car. And each car has the windscreen wipers on, and the windscreen wipers on each car are a visual gag for the kind of the character or the personality of the person inside the car. So like in one of them there's like a married couple with like a really fierce looking woman and a really timid meek looking husband, and like one of the wipers is going bum 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 bum, and the other on the wife's side and on the husband's side it's kind of going because it's all feeble and weak, and it's just like smart little comedy, and it's just things like that. That's why I love Jacques Tati. It's just smart. Sometimes it's just ridiculous and silly, but or the house in Mon Oncle where you've got the two round windows that there's always somebody looking out the window and it looks like a giant eyeball. Didn't know Blade Runner was a book. Yes, Do Androids Dream of Electronic Sheep? Philip K. Dick's library of books that he wrote are like some of the most fecund sources for sci-fi. It's nothing like the book. I've read the book and I'll be really honest, Do Androids Dream of Electronic Sheep is a terrible book. A lot of Philip K. Dick stuff was actually terrible, but it had a seed of an idea. So Blade Runner itself is kind of so far removed from the book that it's almost nothing to do with it. Nob, I always get this wrong. Nobeloid says story and characters blah. What you need is CGI eye candy. Go Transformers. Yeah, I'm sensing sarcasm there. When I think about a must-watch film, says Aviad Madar, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly always comes to mind. Just a perfect soundtrack. Oh yeah. What about A Mule for Sister Sarah? That was kind of interesting. Not seen that in a long. There's lots of movies that I haven't seen for decades that I kind of vaguely remember. But yeah, cinema today. It's weird because although TV has become, it's strange that TV is starting, you know, forget like all the consumer crap and the soap operas and stuff. Proper like intelligent TV has started to become more intelligent and more kind of thoughtful. Like even stuff like, you know, The Expanse. It's not just a sci-fi series, it's quite intelligent, it's quite thoughtful, there's a lot of issues going on, there's complex character development. It's not just shooty killy nonsense. I think really since the reboot of Battlestar Galactica and that kind of dark gritty sci-fi, it's become the norm now to do that kind of thing. And it's weird that that kind of TV drama is becoming more cerebral, and yet Hollywood is just becoming more and more dumb because it's mass market. It's kind of a shame really. The general dumbing down of society. I don't know. Anyway, let's have a look. Having said that, says Zasta, my all-time favourite is The Third Man. What was that, the 39 Steps? I've got that wrong, haven't I? Was that the 39 Steps? Yeah, I might have that wrong. One of them had that music. Or was that The Third Man? I can't remember. In the old days, people had the balls to put a character on screen and not actually explain his entire life story in 2 minutes in expansive dialogue. They had the courage to do that and just leaves things hanging there for people to talk about later on. Nowadays, no, if there's something in the film, somebody has to talk about it in exposition for 5 minutes so that nobody can misunderstand what the origin of that thing is or what it means. It's pathetic, really. The books of The Expanse are better. They butchered them in the series, says Jerry Brooks. There's always a degree of that when you make a series, like what do you call it? Game of Thrones. That's kind of highly compressed and butchered. So there's always a bit of that. Two of my favourites are Amélie and Chocolat. Not typical blokey, but great stories and cinematography. That's the one thing the European theatre can do, is some incredible cinematography. Jerry says his guilty pleasure is Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. Oh dear, very guilty pleasure. Gone with the Wind, great movie, never watched it. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Lost was great to start with. Yeah, Lost was one of those things that when it first came out, I'd never done binge watching. Lost is what started me wanting to do binge watching because I got so into that, and it kind of petered out towards the end, but I want 21 and 22. 22 is there. But Lost was kind of the start of that whole binge watching thing. That's when binge watching became a thing, I think. But yeah, TV and drama seems to get more cerebral, whereas cinema just gets dumbed down. Oh, Mercaholic has just subscribed to the channel. That's taken my health down a little bit. Just a reminder, if you've joined us and you weren't here at the start, and you've never seen one of these before, it reminds me, this is the Warhammer Sundays, where I will sit and work on my Warhammer army. And while I'm working away, I'll chat to you guys, and we'll all hang out in the chat and talk just bollocks for like 3 hours. Because, as you've probably found out, and not really talk about Warhammer much, because whatever. If you're watching this and you've not got access to the live chat, do come and join in the live chat, because I will be doing giveaways and stuff later on. I've got lots of stickers to give away. I also have 2 beautiful, beautiful pot noodle beverage holders, enormous coffee holders, let's just say, to give away. We're going to give these away. They've never been used. They've been sat here for years, just because it's dumb, silly prizes. We'll be giving stickers away. So do come and join the chat. If you can't see the chat anywhere and you're watching through Facebook or Discord or somewhere else I posted up, just click on the YouTube icon at the bottom corner of the screen down here somewhere. Expand the player. Click on that and you'll come to the YouTube page where you can see the live chat on the YouTube page. Join in. There's a bunch of really cool people in the chat. They're all nutters like me, and we're just having a good time, and we'll be doing giveaways, so you need to be in chat for that. Also, don't forget, we're doing boss battle. Up here you'll see my health bar. I'm currently at 74557. I think it's hard for me to see, out of 100,000 HP. When people either do a super chat in chat by hitting the little $sign and do a super chat, or if they do a tip to the tip jar, which is down there, or if somebody subscribes to the channel while we're doing this live stream, all those things take little chunks out of my health, and when my health gets down to 0, whoever dealt me the killing blow and got me down to 0 from whatever I was, that person becomes the boss of the stream. And not only that, they will win, and I will buy for them a Warhammer kit of their choice. Could be anything. Could be tiny, could be massive, doesn't matter how much it costs. As long as it's not Forge World, it can be Warhammer Store or Warhammer Web Store exclusive. Any Warhammer kit, I will buy for that person. And then they'll be the stream boss until somebody takes their health down. And then when somebody takes their health down, that person becomes the boss of the stream, and I'll buy them a Warhammer kit of their choice. And it's going to be ongoing forever. So do join in. Come and join in. Right, where are we up to? Oh yes, of course, if you weren't here at the start and you don't know what this is, my Warhammer army will be the unending forces of the Holy Contrivance, which is I'll start again. I was talking far too fast. The unending forces of the Holy Contrivance, which will be a Principality of Xeon themed Warhammer army. I've got tons of stuff built. I'm going to start the painting at some point. So join in, come and join the chat. Join in the boss battle thing up there. My health is going down. We've got down to almost 4 bars now. I reckon it's going to be maybe another couple of weeks before my health gets down to 0. But somebody out there will do the final blow, and they will win whatever Warhammer kit they want me to buy for them. Anything. Could be a little tiny figure like this. It could be a massive box set with loads of stuff. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I will buy it for them. Yay, Fox's mum mug giveaway. Mum doesn't eat pot noodles. They're my mugs. I only give my own mugs away. I don't give Mum's mugs away. Mum's mugs are all old people mugs. You know, you don't have to be mad to work here, but it helps. That kind of thing. The chef is in. That kind of stuff. I'm not nuts. I'm crazy, says Joanna Hammond. There's a slight difference. Where can I watch Lost? Never seen it. Netflix. Probably. Or it might be on Amazon or somewhere. There's lots of places you can watch it that I'm not going to recommend you go and watch it because that's not specifically legal. But let's just say you can find pretty much anything you want to watch on the internet. 21 I need. 21 is in a place. That place will be exactly there. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who's tipped or super chatted so far. You've taken my health down quite a nice chunk. Getting there slowly. I'm interested to see what they choose as their prize, whoever wins. And I don't want you to be all like nervous and like, well, I can't ask for this because it's too much. I can't ask for that, it's too much. I've calculated the boss battle so that all the money that goes through from boss battle is basically being put to one side to fund the prizes for boss battle. There'll probably be a little bit left over that I can use to, you know, live off. to help support this channel, but pretty much the money you're putting through for Boss Battle will fund Boss Battle. So it's all being kept to one side. I've got the stuff from last week, that's all to one side in PayPal. So when somebody wins, whenever that may be, you really can't ask for anything. Just basically go online and go into stores and say, I want this kit, and I will go and buy it, and you will have that kit, and it will be yours to do with as you wish. So don't be all polite and nervous and say, well, I might go for this little thing because it's not that much. That's what the money's being used for. It's being set aside to pay for these things, so go nuts. The only thing I can't do is Forge World, because, yeah, if we included Forge World in this, I'd have to set my health bar at like 10 million HP. Because Forge World is stupid pricing, so I can't really include Forge World, unfortunately. Plus, the other problem is Forge World stuff, 9 times out of 10, it'll arrive to you, and it'll be a poor mould, or there'll be issues with it, and I don't really want that. I want you to get your prize and be awesome. And be like, wow, I can make this now. If you get a Forge World kit, you're just going to inherit loads of issues with it, and then you're going to have to chase up Forge World for replacement parts and all that kind of shit. So I'm not including Forge World. Too much hassle. They are just too expensive. Yeah, can I have a Warhound, please? Yeah, we haven't made that much money. We're not that wealthy. Daniel Grant, I'm finally getting round to watch my original series Danger Mouse box set. I've got to tell you, if you've not seen the new Danger Mouse that came out like a year ago, you should watch it. It's actually better. I watched the new Danger Mouse and it's very, very funny. And then I tried to go back and watch the old Danger Mouse and it's terrible when you watch the new one. So if you haven't seen the new Danger Mouse, with like Stephen Fry as Colonel K, and that bloke, Alexander Armstrong, I think, is Danger Mouse. And I can't remember who plays Penfold, but if you haven't seen it, seek it out. It is actually hilarious. It's very, very good. I was quite surprised. It was like, this is awesome. I need to watch more of this. And you don't realise until you actually watch the new Danger Mouse how badly drawn the old Danger Mouse actually was. Good old Cosgrove and Hall. When I was very much younger, here's a story for you. Where I was very, very much younger, when my dad used to work at Granada TV, which is a television company in England. It's in the northwest. It's a television provider. He was a cameraman for decades, and he used to know and work with Cosgrove and Hall of Cosgrove Hall, so he knew them personally. And one day he came to me and said, right, I've kind of, because I was always like a kid that drew stuff all the time. He said, right, I've arranged for you to go and visit, to go and have a day trip to Cosgrove Hall. Have a look around, and I'll take you behind the scenes and show you all stuff, and you'll get to meet all the people and stuff. So my brother took me down when they were in Cheadle, somewhere like that. He took me down. This is going back to the late 80s, I think. Took me down for this day trip. I have this memory of leaving my brother in the car. I'll go in now, bye. And I was like, thinking back on it, it's like, poor bastard had to sit outside for like 5 hours while I was indoors. Went inside, got shown all around the studios. I got to see them. At the time, they were making the BFG, the animated cartoon, the BFG. So I got to see the guy working on all the... I got to talk to people who were doing the colouring the cells. There were people doing inking. I got to meet some of the guys in paint and trace. I got to meet the rostrum camera guy, who's the guy that has the overhead camera that takes the shot of the completed animation cells. I got to wander around one of the studios where they were filming Wind in the Willows at the time. That's how long ago it was. They were filming Wind in the Willows. And I was like walking around, and they had all the sets up, so I got to see like Toad Hall, and this thing was massive. The model of Toad Hall was huge. And then he got out the model of Toad's car, which had Toad in it. And this model was absolutely incredible. I was like gobsmacked. That car was about that big, and it had the armatured figure of Toad in it, ready for animation. It was incredible. So I got to see all these stop motion characters and puppets. They had a weasel there with like half the foam missing, so I could see the armatures inside. It was amazing. It was a proper, really well looked after day trip. They took me around like I was a celebrity, as like I was a VIP. I was just some kid. Got the VIP treatment, and then got to sit down and talk with various people. What else? To put it in context for time again, not only were they filming Wind in the Willows and the BFG, I sat down and talked for a bit with a guy who was working on a backdrop for Duckula, and the backdrop was in the Louvre Museum, so that dates it straight away. He was painting the backdrop, and it was a guy with bright pink punk hair who later on I think went to work on in various other animation studios around here, and I think he went to the company. I think they did that Fantastic Mr. Fox, which I have to say, that movie of Fantastic Mr. Fox, the animated one, the stop motion puppets, that was rubbish. Terrible puppets and terrible animation. It was like, God, really? It's like I see clips of Isle of Dogs that's, I think it's either coming out or it's come out. I see clips of Isle of Dogs and the puppets are horrible. The animation is terrible. It's like they're just horrible. Yuck. So yeah, I got to wander around, got to see all that, and then bizarrely, because I took a load of my artwork with me, I was only like about 15 or 16 or something, took a load of my artwork with me, and was talking to one guy. I got to sit down with this guy in his office, and I can't remember what he did at Cosgrave Hall. I didn't sadly get to meet Cosgrave or Hall, I don't think, because they weren't there, but I don't know what he did at Cosgrave Hall, but he's the guy that used to draw Beryl the Peril in the Beano, or Whizzer and Chips, or Dandy, or whatever it was. He was that artist that used to draw like Dennis the Menace, Beryl the Peril, and he used to draw all those. So I don't know what he was doing at Cosgrave Hall, as he was a contributor for the Dandy and the Beano. So I got to meet him, and he said, "You do good hands, you draw great hands." I'm like, "Cool, thanks." So that was cool. That's going back many, many years now. Chris is going off because the internet keeps buffering. Catch you later. Thanks for coming in, Chris. John Redmond's off. Alright, I'm off for the night. It's 1:30 AM and I'm tired as fudge. Fudge. Thanks for coming in, John. I've just missed all that now. I want to paint at night. What globe do you recommend me to get for my lamp? Says Interzone88. You want to make sure, ideally, to avoid eye strain and so you can get all the colours right, you want to make sure you're using a daylight bulb. I would recommend LEDs because they're a little more expensive, but they'll last 100,000 times longer than a normal bulb. Don't go for a normal regular bulb. Go for an LED if you can. But if not, don't worry. Just make sure the bulb is a daylight bulb, so it's the closest to natural light, because it's the best on your eyes. Then, if you're working late at night, you're not going to give yourself eye strain, and you'll see all the colours correctly. The way to know is don't expect it to say daylight bulb on the bulb, but on bulbs, if you look at the packaging, it will have a temperature on the side in Kelvin. It'll say, like, 3,500K or 4,000K. Typically, daylight bulbs are between, I think, 5,500 and 6,500 K, or maybe 6 and 6,500 K. Those bulbs with that that's the colour temperature, that's the colour of the bulb in degrees Kelvin. So get yourself some bulbs, but make sure they're between, let's say, 5,500 and 6K, 6,500K, or I'll say that again, 5,500 and 6,500 K, or maybe just 6 and 6,500. Those are the closest to daylight you're going to get. Also, if you can avoid it, try and avoid strip lights like fluorescent bulbs. Two reasons. One, if you're trying to film anything, you might get flicker. But two, again, even though you can't see them flickering, because that's how strip lights work, even though you can't see them actually flickering, you will perceive it, and your subconscious and your optic nerve will perceive the flicking, and it will get annoying after all, and you can give yourself headaches. So go for daylight bulbs. LEDs are best because they'll last a lot longer. They could last you for years. You won't have to replace them at all, and they're also not hot temperature wise. So if you're working in the middle of summer, like in this room here, it's like 1,000,000 degrees, but luckily all the lamps I've got are LEDs, so it's not too bad. When I used to have like halogen bulbs up here, this place was just a sauna. Downside is, of course, you don't get all the extra heat from them in the middle of winter when you kind of need it. Who remembers Batfink? My wings are like a shield of steel, says Spiddyquate. Sorry, there's only one Penfold, and that's Terry Scott, says Joanna. I agree, although the one that does Penfold now is actually pretty good. Right, that was dude number 1B. Oh, I've got to make 2 of these. It's 1B. So I've got to make another one of them. Oh, that's 1A. I need 1A. It doesn't really matter. 1A1 and 1A2. It doesn't really matter. 1A. I've got to make 2 of those now. Oh. Let's take a little break while I de-sweat and have a look at chat. A little smoky break. And a chat break. Okay, so what are we doing in chat? Talked about all kinds of rubbish today, haven't we? Oops. Let's get this out of the way. Beezer, says Tony Blackwell. Yes, Beezer, that's the one. Achtung mein Lieben, says Andy McLeish. Careful with the LEDs you get though, it needs to be high CRI. I don't know what that means. Brave for Chrissy, bravely ran away. The buffer reared its ugly head. The bravely turned his tail and fled. He's buffering off and chickening out, says Spid. Cheap daylight LEDs make things go purple. Yeah, don't go too cheap. Like, don't go to your pound shop, man, because they'll just be... The problem with cheap LEDs is the circuits inside the bulbs can be a bit shoddy, and then they can flicker. We've got a bulb in a lamp here that when you turn the switch off, it stays on. It's weird. Or it flickers on and off even though it's off because it's the chip actually in the bulb. Some cheap daylight LEDs are way too blue, missing a chunk of green spectrum. Yeah, make sure you go for... It's worth paying more money for LED bulbs because then you get the decent ones. It's not worth going cheap. But they are more energy efficient in the long run. You know, you can get 100,000 hours out of some LED bulbs before you have to replace them compared to normal, you know, halogen bulbs or normal bulbs, which you'll have to replace, you know, after 100 hours. In that case, Fox, you must know what Toad was on. He definitely medicated. Yeah, but I've signed an NDA, dude. Can't tell you. Let's have a look. I would Lynn Dipple to Rinks. I would really recommend Badgerstan Resi UMP primer. Same stuff. That is the best primer for hand brushing. They self-level awesomely. Yes, they do. If you're doing hand brushing primers, Ammo One Shot, Badgerstan Res, and Ultimate Modelling Products Ultimate Primer. They're all the same thing. They're all exactly the same product, just relabeled. They're all Badgerstan Res. I think the Ammo stuff is in the UK and Europe. The UMP stuff is mostly in UK, but you can get it shipped elsewhere. And I got a cramp in my finger. That was weird. And the Badgerstan Res is a US product, but you can get them all. It's just generally they're kind of those versions. Need some help. I'm currently. This is from Multi Demon. I'm currently I'll start again. From Multi Demon 123 says, need some help. I'm currently buying to build a dead marine statue, but I can't seem to find a good sized space marine for the job. Any idea what I can do? You can't really. I think there are some garage kits of like 1/6 scale or 1/12 scale space marines that you could probably fiddle around with, but I've not seen one in a long time. But dead marines might be better just to get like a 1/6 scale resin figure of like a World War II GI and work from that rather than work from a space marine and go back. Because at least with the GI, with the normal regular, World War II soldier, American soldier, you get the right kind of helmet. Or Vietnam period. And there's plenty of companies out there that do like 1/6 scale figures. Beautiful resin, they usually are. Hey, got to launder my stuff. I'll see you guys later, I hope, says James Larimore. Thank you for coming in. Maybe see you later. Silliest question I was asked was from my sister. Well, if it's 5,500k, why doesn't it melt? Yes, she's stupid, says Joanna Hammond. Yeah. I did quite a lot of research into lamp spectra for work, says Zadster. Halogen are still the only ones with the full spectrum, but yeah, toasty. Yeah, they're very, very hot. The beauty of it now is if I need to adjust I've got some like backfill lights. If I need to adjust them, I can just grab it and turn it, even though it's a bulb. Halogen light, I'd be burning my fingers doing that. Puff, puff, cough, cough. Mirza allergic to smoker cough, lol, says Lynn Dipple. Yeah, I'm not. One of my vices. Hand cramps, says Nim. Why am I torturing myself with this tiny braiding? Because of the reasons. Surprise pineapple, says Ghost Lal. I'm surprised. Apple pine. In a local group I'm in, we are doing a group build of HG Leos as knights. I'm doing a sword knot for mines. He's selling Lindipple. Cool. Just prime my Rappoon with Mr. Mahogany Surfacer. Looks beautiful, says Night Blaze. It's either Vallejo or Tamir. Is it the only option here, says Rinks. If your only options are Vallejo or Tamir, well, Vallejo is Spanish and Ammo by Mig is Spanish, so they should be able to get the Ammo by Mig one-shot primer. But if your choice is Vallejo or Tamir, don't ever use Vallejo primers. They're shockingly bad. Just use Tamir rattle cans. They're one of the best primers you'll get because they're lacquer based and they're really tough. But they're rattle can, so do it outside. And Nate Bliss just said exactly the same thing. Out of interest, does anyone else get a nasal reaction when using super glue? I've had to start using a mask or my nose completely blocks up. You're not supposed to put it in your nose, Joanna. It's supposed to go on the model. Sorry. Aviad says, decant the Tamir, it's awesome stuff. Tamir is one of my favourite primers, but it is a rattle can, so if I need to work indoors, I can't use it. So then I'll use the UMP and stuff. UMP primer, or Ammo one-shot, or Bajistano res, has the best self-leveling of any primer. It just goes on, you can carelessly put it on with your airbrush or brush it, and put it all over the model, it will self-level and look beautiful. It looks very similar with the black primer, looks very, very similar to the Chaos Black from Games Workshop, but it's a lot cheaper. And you can airbrush it. But by their nature, acrylic primers are nowhere near as durable as the Tamir stuff, because the Tamir is more like a lacquer. So in terms of durability, Tamir is the best. However, don't ever use Vallejo lacquers because they are all rubbish. Jordan Nash, which is better, Tamir primer or Citadel? I kind of just answered that. Citadel is an acrylic primer, sort of. It's not quite an acrylic primer, but it's more of an acrylic primer than Tamir. So Citadel primer self-levels beautifully, just like the UMP stuff, Badger and Ammo. But it is a little tougher than Badger and Ammo because it's got some stuff in there that helps it grip to the plastic. So it's pretty good. It's very good. I'd probably go for Tamir though, just because Tamir is even more durable. But Tamir, for some reason, don't do a black primer. So if I need a black primer and I can rattle can it, I don't want to airbrush it, I'll use the Citadel stuff. It just costs like £400 for a tin of Citadel primer. Well, doesn't TET work on the tank? Oh, they're talking about a specific thing there. Right, so it looks like we're up to date with the chat. How long have we been going for, folks? What time is it? It is... we've been going for an hour and three quarters. We need to do some giveaways and stickers and shizzle. Wow, I got carried away there. Let's do some giveaways in a second. First, I'll have a swig of coffee. Finish me smoke. Oh god! Oh, coffee, mate. Oh, I can't stand coffee, mate. It's better than no milk, but right. Okay, time to do some giveaways. Now, before we do the giveaways, and people are already answering it. Before we do the giveaways, I'll check my email to make sure if anybody actually sent me any questions. Somebody said you were going to send me some questions for giveaways, but I don't remember actually getting any. Let me have a look on the mobile phone. Now, if you'd like to be in the giveaways, we're going to give away some stickers. We have somewhere. We have some Team Inept. I've got some left over. Some Team Inept and some Model Making Guru stickers to give away. You need to be in the live chat for these. So let's have a look and see if we've got any emails. Any questions on the email? No. Okay, so I've got to make questions up. So, you need to be in the chat. So if you're watching this and you've not got access to the live chat, click on the YouTube icon down here somewhere. It's in the corner. And you'll be taken to the YouTube page where this is streaming. And you'll be able to join in the live chat. Apart from the fact everybody in chat's cool anyway. But yes, and then you can join in for these. What I can also do Nobody's sent me any yet, but if you want to send me an email that includes a question and an answer that I can use to be the question answer to give away stickers, then I'll send you a sticker, just like we do on the eModels live stream. So if you've got a question and an answer that you want me to use to give stickers away, send that to me, drop me an email. I'll put my email address up, which is here, because we'll need that in a moment. I'll remember to take it off this time as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some silly questions, ask some silly questions. I'll ask the question. Don't answer till I say go. When I say go, people in the chat, type in your answers. The first answer I see that's correct will be the person that wins the sticker, and we'll do a couple of these, 2 or 3 of these. Don't forget though, I see the chat differently to the way you do. I see the chat, the first comment that comes through is the first one that YouTube receives. You see it tailored to you. Now before we do this, as always, I'll say refresh your browser screen right now. Do it now, because there's often a lag between the video and the text in the chat after about an hour or so. Somebody sent me a question. We have a question. There we go. Joanna Hammond sent a question. We have a question. So, before we do anything, I'll give you a minute. I'll have a swig of my coffee. Go and refresh your browser. Right now. Right now. Right now. Oh, I've got another question. I've got one from Gerwin as well. So, refresh your page now. Oh. So, Joanna and Gerwin, make sure to send me an email to that address there. Where's the camera? Where is it? It's there. modelmakingguru@gmail. I hope you can see that. modelmakingguru@gmail.com. That is on the screen. You can see that, can you guys? The Model Making Guru logo, email address. I don't know. I only see the edit screen. Let me check. Oh, yeah, you can. So, right, have you all refreshed your screens? Okay, then we shall begin. Right. First question is from Joanna Hammond. Now, the important thing to remember is when you send me a question answer, I don't check the answer. I assume that the answer is correct. So, if this answer isn't correct, tough cookies. I'm going off whatever. Whoever gives me the answer that's in this question answer. So, Joanna, send me your name and address. I think I've got it already, but send me an email anyway. The other thing is, if you've already won stickers or things like that, you're more than welcome to go in again and win more. But if you don't want any more, don't answer the question. But if you have one, if you do win again today and you've already won something before, send me another email, because when I go through and do all the stickers and giveaway prizes, I go through the list of emails to know who I've got to send stuff to. So just mail me again, even if you've mailed me before. So, right. Joanna has sent a question, and it is not a chemistry question. However, it is a brain question. It's a maths question. Duh, I'm allergic to maths. Lynn, I'm going to send you some anyway, Lynn, because you're in the smooth thing. So I'm going to send you all you guys stickers anyway. So there you go. Right. So here is Joanna's question. Remember, it's the first answer I see that's correct. So get ready with the typing. You might do a bit of googling. What is? Don't wait till I say go. What is the 19th digit of pi? Go. The 19th. Did I put that on screen? I hope you didn't see that. The 19th digit of pi. Andy McLeese says, maths runs away. Yes, Lynn, I will get around to sending all you guys in Smooth Thing some stickers and stuff. I keep not getting a chance. But now I'm doing all my posting out. I will anyway. Straight away, Bop Osric 9000 says 8. And the answer I have is, I'll cover up, you can't see the email address, don't think. 8. So there you go. The 19th digit of pi is 8, according to Joanna, and we'll assume that's correct because she's got a brain. So Osric, brilliant. Send an email address. Send your name and address to modelmakingguru@gmail.com. If I get it today, I'll be able to send it out tomorrow with the rest. If I should run out of Team Inept ones, I don't think I will, but if I do, I'll just send you an extra Model Making Guru one. So well done to Osric. Well done. Did you Google that, or did you just know that, or was that just a guess? We'll never know. Just say you knew it. You just sound intelligent. It's great. Right, so the next question for more stickerage is... that's the wrong email. Hello. The next one, this is from Gerwin. I'm just getting there. Okay, I don't think anybody will get this, but it's kind of interesting. This will require Googling. Okay, Here's the question. This is from Gerwin. Question. Wait till I say go. What is the speed of the fastest land animal when scaled up? The speed of the fastest land animal when scaled up. And it's not what you think it might be. You have to Google this. Go. You have to Google this. It may just be a case that you put down a random speed. When he says scale up, he means scaled up to if it was the same size as a human. So this creature, this thing, scaled up to the same size as a human, what would its speed be? I'm not actually looking here. I'm not even looking at the answers, am I? Let's have a look. Well, some of you have got the actual creature. Oh, there we go. Bam, straight away. Fraser Davies says 1,300 miles an hour. A couple of you have said... I can't... My screen's gone. Paratarsotomus macropalpis. But the answer, the question was the speed, which is 1,300 miles an hour. So, Fraser, well done. Send me your name and address to your email address, and I'll get that sent out. He says, the mite I can't say it. Paratarsotomus macropalpis, although no bigger than a sesame seed, was recently recorded running at up to 322 body lengths per second, a measure of speed that reflects how quickly an animal moves relative to its body size. Extrapolated to the size of a human, the mite's speed is equivalent to a person running approximately 1,300 miles an hour. The findings were presented at the Experimental Biology 2014 meeting in San Diego. So well done. Learn something every day. How you found that out, I don't know. It's interesting. See, there are things that people know. That's a bloody scary looking insect, says Fraser. Somebody look it up. Holy crap, that's Mach 2. Officially not possible, says Science. I don't want to win, says Joanna Hammond. Right, so we'll do one more, and we'll do a traditional one for this one. So you two, make sure you mail me with your name and address. Even if you, I think, Joanna, you've mailed me before, but mail me again, just so I've got a list of... I literally go through the emails one by one and put things in envelopes. So, it's how I remember, otherwise I'll forget who has what. So, as always, the third one, we'll do one more. And this will be a typical, I will write a number on my hand and you have to guess it. So, let's think of a number. Right, so let's use a pen that's black, because you can't actually see that. Let's use this pen instead. Doing silver on skin is not good. So I'm going to write a number on my hand. It is a number between 83 and 93. Go. What is the number on my hand? I've got a lot of stickers and things to send out tomorrow. I've got tons. All my day tomorrow will be spent going back and forth to the post office. Spade. It's between 83 and 93. Oh, there we go. Ghost Lyle, 84. Ghost Lyle, 84. Well done, Pineapple. Send me your name and address. I'll get some stickers sent off to you. So well done, Ghost. There we go. I'll put those to one side. Now, we have the giveaways. That was loud. The pot noodle mugs. Pot noodle filth for kings. This is the king's filth. This, if you've never had a pot noodle, if you're outside the UK, if you're in America especially, go to a UK expat store and find some pot noodles. They're not cheap. This one's got a handle, this one hasn't, which is weird, but go on find pot noodles. Green, Bombay Bad Boy. All the rest are rubbish. Go for green. Green's best, the best one. There is a video on my channel, if you look it up, I think it's in the how-to section, about how to make the perfect pot noodle, and it's a green chicken and mushroom. So if you want fun, go and watch that video and find out how to make the perfect pot noodle. Anyway, let's give these away. So, we're not going to do these to the live chat. We're going to do these as a giveaway next week. So, what I will say is, if you'd like to win one of these pot noodles, then all you need to do is, once this stream is finished, you know how it works. Once the stream is finished, simply go on, it'll be on my YouTube channel as this week's episode. Simply put a comment on there and use the filthiest word. I don't mean swearing, I just mean like as in filth and dirt and rubbish and you know, the filthiest word to describe pot noodle. Bearing in mind this is kind of marketed as filth. They actually market it as filth. So yeah, so they are filthy. They're filthy. It's just filthy food. So if you want to win one of these, and I will pick 2 winners next week. I won't be able to do it live while we're on the stream, but I'll say I'll do it before we go live, like we do on e-models. I'll pick 2 of the comments at random with the random comment picker that picks the random comment randomly, and those 2 people will win pot noodle cups. One for the coffee and tea, and this one I assume is for your pot noodle. I didn't realise there wasn't a handle on that. It's still cool. They hold a lot as well. They're kind of big compared to my enormous mug of happiness. They're not small. They're not on camera either. Hooray! They've been used. They're all perfectly clean. You might want to give them a rinse because they've been in the cupboard for about 2 years. But they're absolutely fine. So yes, so just simply stick a comment on this stream's video once it's rendered and it's actually a video on the channel, saying why, using words to describe how filthy pot noodles are, something like that, or just any old comment. It doesn't really matter. Right. Spid says yes, thank you, Andy. Another one with pot noodly taste. No, it's green, not chow mein. There's nothing wrong with chow mein. It's just not green chicken and mushroom. Are they able to be eaten? Says Ghostloud. What, the cups? You can't eat a cup. It's a cup. Right, so now one last thing before we get back to the model making. Yeah, I said I'd do this. I'm kind of wishing I hadn't, but I've got to do it. One thing I will do is get myself a little. See if I've got a little Ziploc bag. A few of them noms. A Ziploc bag, because I'm going to give some of these to Spid. I promised that I would. They are crickets, dried crickets. This could be interesting. This could be interesting. Joanna Hammond says to Gerwin something about not being in chat first. Yeah, when we do the chat giveaways, you have to remember that when you see the chat, it's kind of tailored towards you. When I see the chat, it's actually the order that YouTube receives the comments. So this is why I've got it on screen here. You can't actually see it, but this is the actual way that YouTube sees it. You see it differently. You see it biased towards you. So if you're first on your chat, it doesn't mean you're actually the first in chat. I can't get this bag open, so I'm going to cut it. It's not so bad. That means I can reseal it. It smells like a pet shop. I'm not going to eat these. Okay. We are eating, not live crickets, but we are eating crickets. Ooh, smells like a pet shop. Yep, brilliant, fantastic. I might regret this. I hope they're not big. First thing I'll do is put some in a bag for Spid. Yeah. Sorry, Spid, you're going to have to eat these. Oh, God, they're huge. Oh, fuck me. I thought they were little tiny things. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. I know I'm swearing, but I don't care. Ah, this is not going to end well. I didn't think they'd be that big. I thought they'd be little tiny things like ant. I'd obviously forgotten what crickets look like. Oh, cock. Alright, it's just social bias. It's just social bias. There's nothing wrong. They're just insects. I'll just kind of put them back in there. I'll put that one as a bit rubbish. I'm going to have to do this, aren't I? I'm going to have to do this. I thought they'd... Right. There's no way around. I'm just going to have to eat it. Ready? Oh. Oh, actually, you know what? Try that again. Oh my life. They are really nice. There's a little bit of reluctant retching going on, but actually they are very pleasant. I'm giving you some more, Spid. Yeah, they're actually really nice. They taste like... What do they taste like? They kind of taste... not nutty. They taste a bit like wheat snacks of some sort. Yeah, Spid, these are coming your way, mate. They're actually really nice. They're actually most pleasant. If you kind of forget Ignore what they are. It doesn't really matter. They're not spicy at all. Somebody asked me to give a bit of a kick. See what you did there. They're actually really nice. They taste like I say, like little wheat snacks. You just have to kind of get round the wheat snacks, not weed snacks. You have to get round the look of them and get round your social bias that says it's disgusting to eat these, because it's actually not. You may joke and say these are the food of the future. Well, I'll swig of coffee. But I said before, this is why people call them the food of the future, because currently our livestock, something like 80 or 90% of the crops we grow on this planet are purely crops for livestock to feed on, for our beef, our sheep, our pigs and other things. So most of our arable land is being used up to produce crops that are just to feed the livestock that we eat. So the fact that these things can be grown in a small location and they don't require tons and tons of crops to keep them going, they're incredibly cheap to make, resource cheap, if you know what I mean. It kind of is a move now. And in this country, you can actually now in the UK you can buy insect-made products, but the things like beef burgers and stuff like patties and things, and sausages, you can't actually buy this. This is illegal. You can't do it. But I think eventually you will, and it makes sense because ideally we need to get rid of using all this arable land, which is doing all of the nasty things as well. Ooh, it's quite pleasant. It's a really nice taste. I bet I've lost half my viewers right now because you're all going, oh! See what the chat's saying. They are quite dry. Somebody said about the text, they are quite dry, but it's not like you can hear it, feel a leg or anything. Let's revel in Fox's suffering. Yeah, thanks for that. I think swearing is perfectly acceptable when faced with insects to eat. Yeah, I kind of didn't plan that, and that was a lot of swearing, so I do apologise. It's a 1980s plate made by Hornsey Pottery from Lancaster. Yeah, everybody's got these. You'd be surprised how many houses I've been to where they've got these exact plates. I like a cheese sandwich, just not with my noodles. You'll be fine, only one. Go for a mouthful, nom nom nom, lol. This is great. Best way is not to look at them. I just don't like the texture, says Joanna. Yeah, it's a little bit, I don't know, it's kind of powdery. Oh heck. Dungeon food. If he says they taste like chicken, says Goin, they don't taste like chicken at all. Excellent, now I'm eager again, says Spid. I thought they were a bit nutty. Mealworms are nutty. Never had any. We get mealworms to feed the birds, but apparently you're not supposed to eat those. What flavour did you buy those crickets? I don't know, they were sent to me. It doesn't say what flavour, I can't read. If you read Thai, I don't know what flavour that is. They don't really seem to have much. They've got a very slight flavour. I've got the sniffles now. There probably is a flavour to them. But I think it's one of those, it's the social bias. You look at insects and think, ooh, gross. Whereas in, countries where it's normal to eat these, they look at them and go, ooh, tasty. Because they're used to eating them. So, insects are a massive source of protein and surprisingly, actually quite a lot of fat. 5 grams of saturated fat per 1%. 5 grams or 1% of your daily intake of saturated fat, but no trans fats. 5 milligrams of sodium, 23 grams of carbohydrates, 8% of your carbohydrate daily intake. No vitamin A, no vitamin C, but they've got calcium and iron. I love trying weird things, Andy. Frogs' legs and snails, for example, are great. Snails are awesome. Snails taste fantastic. First time I ever had snails, what put me off more was not for the snail, but the kind of gynecological tools you get to eat the snail with. I'm like, duh. And yes, I have pinged a snail across a table. Oh, sorry. Snails are awesome. I love snail. L'escargot. Octopus. I've had octopus. I've had octopus slightly cooked and raw. I had squid once that was kind of tasty and chewy on one side, and on the other side was kind of fluffy tasting, and my brain was like, just put it in your mouth and swallow it as fast as you can. Ooh, my burps taste like something. I'm trying to come up with the flavour, because there is a specific flavour, but I can't think what it is. Kind of has that pet shop smell, but it's a very familiar flavour, but I can't place it. That's tired for factory floor sweepings from the stupid Westerners. Yeah, except it's not for the Westerners. Tripe isn't good, but cold sliced cow's udder is great sandwich meat, says Spid. I'll pass on cow boobs, says Andy McLeish. This turned into an eating show again, says a random moose. Hey, random moose. Yeah. Right, so I'll have one last mouthful. I've got legs and wings all over my desk now. There's quite a lot stuffed in there. I know Mum's not going to go anywhere near these. They're most pleasant. Thank you for sending me those. You peg. Clamp. They're rather delicious. I like those. I shall finish those later. Nom 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 nom. Right. Coffee. It's weird because they kind of have a pet shop smell, and they smell a bit like millet. You know, the bird stuff, millet, but they taste quite nice. And Fox flies away, says Lynn. Yes. They are quite bitty. You get little bits in your mouth. So you have to have a swig of something just to wash those bits away. If anything, they just kind of feel like little wheat snacks. Right. Right, let's do some more work. How long are we going for? 2 hours. Okay. We'll see if we can get maybe one more of these done. So, Spid, I have a bag of crickets, which I don't really want to look at. I will admit, I'm still looking at them and going, but eating them is fine. I just don't want to look at them. That's the wrong pen again. I've got a grey one out for. Idiot. Me. It's hard to write on a plastic bag. That'll be coming your way, dude. Right. Enough. I need to make more of these, don't I? That was 1A. That was 1B. So, I need to make another 1A, another 1B. Woo! Got 1A. Let's do another 1A. So, I want 10 and 9 again. In fact, what I might do first is just quickly wash my hands. So, give me a few seconds. I'll just be a few seconds away from the microphone. Give me a second. I want to wash my hands first. Ooh.
Pika pika.
Ooh, Lee Gallop, thank you very much. Most kind of you, sir. Thought I'd just better wash my hands, get rid of the email address. There you go. Eating those crickets was worth a £5. Thank you very much, Lee. Royd, get on with it, says Andy McLeish. Royd, get on with it. Right, 10 and 9 I need. That was most pleasant. I'm quite pleased. I was quite pleased with those. Most tasty. I've got a nice aftertaste in my mouth now. So I want 10 and 9, which are... I can imagine they taste nice with beer. Ooh, yeah, that's an idea. That's an idea. Beer is an idea. Ooh. Snip, 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 snipping, snipping all the shiz away. 10 and 9. Best Maureen. Doing in chat. Do 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 do. Andy McLeish. LD afternoon Andy. Who's just come in then? Ooh. Yeah, burps taste quite interesting. I'm trying to place the flavour of those crickets now. I can't pin it down. I don't know. I can't say what flavour they were because I don't know what an actual cricket tastes like that's not been flavoured. So it's not a strong flavour. It's quite a mild flavour. So I'm assuming it's been flavoured. Little nubbages. Little nub on his butt nub. Okay. Now that the Imperial Skitter is finished, it does mean, of course, that I can make a start on the Master Grade Strike Rouge Autori, which may not be rouge, maybe more like purpley lilac. We haven't decided yet. It's a Patreon reward for Jordan, who's one of my patrons, one of my top tier patrons. Thank you very much, Jordan. For those of you who don't know, you can support me on Patreon, patreon.com/modelmakingguru. For folks that support me at $100 or more a month, which is awesome, I do, as a reward, after 12 months, they get to pick a Master Grade kit or a Warhammer kit that I will build and paint for them to my usual standards. So that's Jordan's pick, is the Master Grade Strike Rouge Autori, with maybe a little bit of weathering. A bit of debris there. A little bit of weathering, but not too much. So I'm going to make a start on that this week. So what I will do first and foremost is, of course, I'm going to have a day or two of denubbage. Hooray. All the happiness. So what we'll do is, the first thing I'll do is probably on Tuesday, but we'll see how it goes. Probably Tuesday I'll do a live stream. Just like this, basically, just denubbing and sanding, getting parts ready. Because it's during the week, obviously. I know a lot of you'll be at work, but it'll be archived up afterwards. So I'll probably do it, like, if I do it, say Tuesday or Wednesday, it'll probably be around about this kind of time, 3 PM, something like that. I don't know yet for sure. I'll post up in the Boom Hut and on my page and Twitter and the places when I do. So I know a lot of you'll be at work, but not everybody will be at work. I don't want to leave it to the weekend because I need to get started on it, because, you know, for Jordan, he needs to get it done. So it's not fair as I had to wait quite so long. I'm quite looking forward to it. And what I'll be doing is, it will be filmed as a Patreon exclusive build. It's a Patreon reward. So the doing series will be Patreon exclusive. However, as I've done before in the past, I need part 11 and 12. As I've done before in the past, what I'll actually do is the actual full length episodes will be Patreon exclusive to all patrons. And then I'll film a separate little build diary for non-patrons, just so they're not missing out completely. So we'll be doing that. Ooh, my burps taste like pet food. It's great. 11 and 12. So that should be starting soon. Not done a Gumpler for ages. I need to get back into the swing of it. And then once that's done, I've been having to think about what's going to come after that. And I'm thinking, I'm off Wednesday with my boy, so yay, says Jerry. We might make it Wednesday then. I'm thinking I might do the Kshatriya, the HG Kshatriya that I need to do, because I've had it for a while. I need a break from enormous kits. I know the Kshatriya is not exactly small, but it's not like Yamato. I need to get some small kits on the go. So I might do that. I don't know yet though, because I've got that to do. I've got the HG ground type, which would be a fun little sort of brush paint project. But I might do the Kshatriya. I've got loads of other things to do. I've got my, real grade RX 782 that Scott very kindly sent me. I've got the master grade high new. I have to apologise. It's been so long since that was sent to me. It's been a good couple of years now. I can't remember who sent that to me. I usually write it on the side of the box, but I forgot. I didn't at that point. So, if you sent me that high new, please do remind me so I can put your name on the box and thank you properly. It was a good couple of years ago now, though. What else have I got? I've got my Sazabe. My Sinanju that I need to do. Sinanju. I think I want to ease myself back into Gunpla a little bit before I take a crack at the Sinanju. The Demir got me the Sinanju. And of course I've got all my little SD strikes from Vincent and from other folks as well. And loads of other bits and bobs. I've still got to finish that Zaku. I've still got a 1/60th scale non-perfect grade Freedom Gundam that I need to do. I've got loads I need to do. I've still got to do that Yamato. Tons of things to build. But I'm not keen on that big massive 1/60th scale Freedom Gundam just yet, because I want to get back into doing little things. I did a few big things. I did that Master Chief and I did the Eagle, which took up my entire desk. And if I'm doing this at the weekends, I need to make sure I can move everything off the desk that's whatever's in progress to do this. And if it's like a big Gundam with hundreds of parts and things on sticks, it's not that easy. Let's have a look. Oh, Gary Moores. Fox, what and when is your next sci-fi model? Along those lines. Outside of Gunpla, I do have sci-fi wise, I have in the stash. Everything I do is sci-fi, really. This is sci-fi. But non-Gunpla, non-Warhammer, I have a Jar Jar Bleeding Binks action figure that Paul and Chris sent me. Thanks. I'm going to pick that at some point. I've got the Warthog from Halo that Kenneth sent me. That needs to be assembled and painted up in awesomeness. I have a Deep Space Nine Runabout Rio Grande that I need to do. So it's since discontinued kit, so I'm going to take special care with that one. I got it for 30 quid on eBay, but if you go on eBay to find it, there's people selling it for like 300 quid. So yeah, I got it from like some little tiny mom and pop, as the Americans would say, some little family run model shop down south somewhere that didn't really know what they had. They didn't know that it's a rare discontinued kit that can command hundreds of pounds, and I wasn't about to tell them that. I was more than happy to pay 30 space pounds for a kit because I'm a bad man. I've got that little car to do from the Ultraman, which is cool. I've got some. I've got a TIE Fighter. I've got a Y-wing and a TIE Fighter to do for Bandai. What else have I got? I've got my space battleship Yamato. That's sci-fi. And I have some other bits and bobs. What else is up on my collection? I think that's it. Sci-fi wise, I've got a Mackie Raider, Voyager Mackie Raider that I started, but kind of it went a bit to pot, and I kind of put it back in the box. Might do that at some point. The Runabout is the old AMT Ertl kit. which is not without its flaws, but is a really nice kit. And surprisingly, the Mackie Raider is a Revell kit, I think, but not that bad. It's one they didn't screw up for once. Oops. Cool. I'm off Tuesday. I'm off Wednesday, my boy. So so Dave Barker and Jerry, you two are gonna have to fight because one is off on Wednesday and one is off on Tuesday. I'm washing my hands of it. You guys are gonna have to fight over me now. Fight over me. Damn it! I need to Patreon, I guess, as Andy McLeish. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say what you should do. Yeah, go on. I've not. I mean, I try not to do too much Patreon exclusive stuff, but I kind of have to do some Patreon exclusive stuff to reward patrons. But this is a Patreon reward, so it kind of makes sense to film it as exclusive. Remember when I did the Big Master Chief, that was an exclusive, and that was like the little diary updates for everybody else, and then the full episodes for non-patrons. Same with the little miniature Kshatriya that I did. It's quite difficult to balance, you know, content for people. Well, we suddenly zoomed up. Use sprue goo good on this kit. I want to see it in action. I can't. I've got sprue goo there, but I've got nothing to use it on. I can put some on the base. I need to make some more actually, because this is getting a bit empty. There you go, sprue goo. If you watch the Imperial Skitter build, Imperial Skitter series, where I did the Warhammer figures, the cloak on the sniper was actually two parts with a big gap down the middle, big seam line about that wide. I filled that with sprue goo, and it sanded out perfectly. So I do recommend using sprue goo and making some, because it takes you 10 minutes, it costs very little, and it's much easier than your filler nonsense. 13 and 14 I need. 13 and 14. Doodle-doodle-doo. Tell us about the Yamato is going. It's the 1/500 scale, 3 foot long space battleship Yamato from Bandai that I need to do at some point. Seriously, I need to do it because I got it and I've been waiting to do it forever. But I just need to make sure I can do it, and when I do it, it's going to take up this entire bench, because it's about the same size as the 1/72 scale U-boat I did years ago, a couple of years ago. So I know it's going to take up the entire bench. So I need to make sure I can clear my calendar and not have other things coming up at the same time, because it'll be a case of once that gets going, nothing else happens on this bench. So yes, I need to make sure I can set time aside, and also set aside 6 months to paint all the little tiny planes. Ooh, that should be fun. Everybody's talking about thinning stuff. Lynn Dipple's been watching Vincent's Yamato build. Yeah, Mr. Less Model Making, he's done the Yamato. I think he got the hang of though as well, because he's a crazy fool and he likes painting tiny molecular planes. The only downside to that Yamato kit is it's really big, it's dead simple to build, it's a beautiful model, but it's got all the little fighters that go with it, but there's no decals for them, and they're all different colours. They've got like colour patches on them, and it's not the end of the world to have to paint them, but it'd be nice if they gave you some decals for those, so you can have the different coloured livery on them. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. But I need to do some. The thing I need to do at the moment, more importantly, right now for me, is I need to start making stuff that I'm actually going to be able to sell. That's kind of the most important bit at the moment. Is just no matter what I actually want to make, I need to start making stuff that I can sell. Like the Skitter build, that's free models. I can't sell that. The Strike Rouge, that's a Patreon reward, so I obviously can't sell that. So I need to start making stuff that I'm going to be selling once I've done it, because I need to get the money coming in. So that's why I might do the Kshatriya, because I can sell that. And then get on to the other things. So I might have to focus on things I can actually flog once they're built for a little while, just so I can get some money in the bank, get some savings going, because it's been a while since I actually sold anything. So the last thing I sold was that big Master Chief, sir, and it's, you know, one of my sources of income is selling them once they're built, so I need to do that. Oops, got to take these bits off. Which is why I can't do constant E-models builds all the time, because I need to have that source of income from builds. That nub. Big nubs! Fox will kill me pimping on his feed, says Dave Barker. Wait, what am I pimping? What am I pimping now? Everybody's talking about spraying UMP primers and sprue glue at the moment. I've kind of missed half the conversation, so I shan't try and join in halfway through. Fox's life is now lost. 4 and a... Wait, what? 4 and a bit? Oh yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm onto the... You're onto the 5th block now. If you joined us late and you're not sure what that health bar on the top left is, you probably all know anyway. That is my Stream Boss health bar. Started off at 100,000 HP, slowly been whittled down. Every time someone, while we're live on the air, every time someone subscribes to this channel, or does a super chat in the chat window, presses the little dollar icon in the chat window, which pops your question up in a big bright coloured box so I can't miss it. That takes a little bit of health off. Or every time someone does a donation to the tip jar, which is down there, all 3 of those things take a little bit of my health off, or take an amount of my health. Just so you know, the bigger your tip or super chat pledge, the more health you take off in one go. Just so you know that. So if you do like $1, that takes off a certain amount of health. If you do $5, that takes off more health than $1. So it is linked to how much it actually goes through. Just saying. So yes, so every time I get a super chat or a tip, or somebody subscribes to the channel, my health bar goes down a bit, and whoever is the final person that gets my health down from whatever it is to 0, that person then becomes a stream boss, and their reward is that I will buy them whatever Warhammer kit they want. Anything, as long as it's standard Games Workshop store or web store exclusive and not Forge World, I will buy them whatever kit they want, and the money that's raised primarily goes towards buying the prizes. There will be a little bit left over that I will be able to, you know, live off, but the majority of it will go towards funding the actual prize. So don't worry if you think you're going to be greedy and say, I want this big kit that costs, you know, a couple of £100 or something. I'll be like, yeah, that's fine, it's ordered, it's on its way. You already got it. It's all been worked out so that the funds raised cover the costs. It's all gravy. And then that person becomes stream boss, and then their health gets whittled down. And then when their health gets to 0, whoever knocked them off their plinth, they get to choose a Warhammer model that I will buy for them. And so on it will go, forever. Forever and ever and ever. And it really will, because I love giving stuff away. So everybody's talking about glue. One thing I would say with the boss battle thing is, though, it's inching slowly forward at the moment, because everybody's like, well, if I do it now, I'm not going to get the price. However, it will move really fast. I can guarantee you, it will move really fast once that bar gets quite low. Because again, you don't know how many points you're going to take off when you make a donation or a tip jar or a super chat. It might be enough to knock a couple hundred points off. It might be enough to knock 1,000 points off. You never know. The points knocked off is related to the amount. So can be knocked off faster by either more tips and things like that, or just bigger amounts, whichever works for you. So yeah, it might go quite like watching an eBay stream snipe, where people are sniping at an auction at the very end. It's a very strange pose, that one. It's kind of leaning in a funny direction. Very odd. I always tend to put my dudes kind of towards the back of the base for some reason. I don't quite know why. Just to be different, I reckon. Chat around looking after themselves. Kind of ignoring me, but that's fine because they're all hanging out and talking to each other. I'm just waffling on in the background. Ignore me. Nothing to see here. Move along. Tony Blackwell says, I watch all these building videos and end up buying stuff. It's funny how that works. You have a big poster on your wall that just says consume, next to one that just says obey. That's that, dude. So that's 2 of those. So here's another 1A. So I've got 2 of them. It is a shame that they've all kind of got the same pose. You're going to have 2 of each pose. Like, you look at the old Astra Militarum. Black pen, you spoon. Black pen on black plastic. You look at some of the older figure kits where you get enough variation that everybody can have a slightly different pose. When I did the Astra Militarum guys, they've all got slightly different poses because you can have fun with it. It is a shame that these are all kind of stuck in certain poses. But hey. PayPal is too convenient. Yes. Let's have a look. What you're all talking about? Obey Yob, says Andy McLeish, flipping autocorrect. Right, let's do one more. What time are we on now? We're on 5:34. We'll do one more. And I'll probably give it a wrap up for today. So we'll do another one of these. 1B. That's 1A. 1B. We'll made 4 dudes today. Woohoo! 4 dudes. I don't work fast, so you don't have to. 1817. I don't know how that works. 1817. 18. Quite enjoyed those crickets. You can now say you've watched an idiot eat crickets live on televisions. 17, which is that one. Anyway, what were we talking about all that time ago? T-minus 10 minutes till food gets here, says Nim. Nim, talk to me about food. What is the food you're having? I'm always constantly hungry. Good morning, Mr. Fox, says Jake. Oh, you're back. Morning. Hang on. Visor up. There you go. See what I do for you guys. Ugh. Tony Blackwell. Enamels were all we had when I was a kid. Humbrol authentic colours. Yeah. Humbrol. I don't think authentic is the word I'm thinking of when I think of Humbrol enamel paints. Enamels have their uses, but yeah. Do it on the sweet spot, dear boy. Don't forget, if you want some stickers earlier on, do make sure to send me an email, modelmakingguru@gmail.com, with your name and address. Even if you've mailed me before and you're waiting for stickers for a different giveaway, mail me anyway, because I use my email inbox as the who to send stuff to list, and I should be, hopefully, sending those out all tomorrow. Because I've had Patreon payday. Thank you very much to all my patrons for this month. Get my bills paid off, and I should be able to get to the post office tomorrow and get out a load of stickers and prizes sent out. Yeah. So Tony, who's waiting for his notebook, and then whoever won the spaceship and the Virtus Praetor. You guys are waiting for those. They'll go out tomorrow. Little tiny seam lines, or mould lines, I should say. Nimson doing a hot roast beef sandwich with gravy and a baked potato with melted cheese sauce and bacon. Oh, can you just send that to me instead? Because I want that now. Sounds really nice. You have somewhere that delivers stuff like that? Wow, it's quite impressive. Folks, when you check your Facebook messages for the address, check the Nat to Geo video I linked. Now that bug will be a main meal. I'm going to regret that, aren't I? Will do, Spid. I had langoustines in a Madeira and tomato cream sauce with linguine. I don't know what any of those things are, but they all sound great. I don't know what any of that means. You're just talking science again to you, aren't we, Joanna? Sorry, science to me, aren't you, Joanna? I don't know. Joanna sent me a thing last week when I did my video and I was talking about stripping paint. And I tried to be clever and do some science and I hadn't got a clue what the hell I was talking about, so I kind of got away with it. So Joanna sent me a message like saying, here's why these paint strippers work, here's all this science stuff, and I'm like, wow, you just sent me a big paragraph full of science words that I don't understand any of it. But it sounds awesome. Turns out I was sort of right, but not right, sort of, kind of a little bit maybe. Something like that. Fox, can I mention a YouTube channel? It's a bloke who does quite a few diorama and miniature painting vids. Yeah, you won't have to post a link there, because only I can post links, but you can talk about it, it's not a problem. Oh, woo, glue spillage, look at that, live on telly. Oh, that's going to take the pattern off the table, that is. Oh, yeah, it's taken the... Look at that, you won't see that, but yeah, it's taken the checkers off, no worries. That's why you put your lid on, folks. Tony, you weren't even here. Oh, yay. It's about time I spilled some extra thin on telly. We've all done it. We all laugh about it, but I've never actually done it on telly. Also, just so you know, that's taking me a little mark off now and everything. If you're wondering why the grey cutting mat looks a bit scruffy, by the way, it's not actually scruffy. If you watch the latest Skitter video, what I actually did was I did some ammo by my knife's covered in glue and all now. Blimey, Riley! Ugh, I don't know. And now I knocked the camera. There you go. It's all chaos. It's all gone wrong. I don't know. Yes, I did some rust powders, and basically I put down paper. I didn't put down enough paper, so the rust powders got on the mat, and I tried to clean them up, and I've got to tell you, even though they come off dead easily, they're very pervasive. I scrubbed this with like stuff so much that I took some of the pattern off here and there, so it's like, yeah, if you're doing any kind of rust powder, especially ammo by Meg, put down paper. Put down as much paper as you can feasibly get your hands on, because you need it. Right, what's chat doing now? I've just exploded everything. Umagerd spillage. Mr. Fox, I subscribed. Thank you very much, Abdul Malek. Very kind of you. Tony, look what you made him do. I can always tag you in a picture of it in Discord. Spillage, Sea Fox into Smear Industries anti-clumsy plonker device made by Dad. Yes, I would happily accept one of those. You tipped the untippable. Nothing is untippable. What model is he building, says DW Cali 07. If you only just joined us, I am building at the moment. I am working on my Warhammer 40k army, which will be an Imperial army, so it's got like Imperial Knights, like this guy here. Oh, hang on. Imperial Knights like this guy that I haven't painted yet. Got a dude like him. I've got loads of standard Astra Militarum grunt troops. I've got some Space Marines. Right now, I'm working on a squad of Primaris Intercessor Space Marines. I've got tons and tons of things to paint. I'm just doing all the building at the moment. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm just putting these little guys together. YouTube channel is called Luke's Apps. Oh yeah, I know Luke's Apps. I know that channel. Luke's APS or Luke's Apps. Yes, I know that channel. What do I need for this now? I've lost my place. Which one am I doing? I'm doing... It's 1A. 1A. That's 1B. This room's going to smell of glue for a week. I need some more actually because I'm getting low on that. So I want... got the torso, so I need 19 and 20. 19 und also 20, ja, das ist richtig. You're not a proper model maker unless you've got bald spots on your cutting mat where glue or something has taken off the pattern. It's kind of how you know you've arrived. It's how you know you've arrived. 19 and 20. Do 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 do. Before I go today, I will have to have another like handful of crickets. For anybody who joined us after the great cricket eating incident earlier on, I will have to polish off another mouthful or two. They are really nice. If you missed it earlier on, if you weren't here, I ate some dried crickets, some roasted crickets that was sent to me very kindly. I started on them, and they were quite delicious. They were quite pleasant and tasty. Someone invents some kind of gyroscopic glue holder that makes it impossible to knock over. Smooth Industries quality tat. Smooth Industries do provide a glue, what do you call it now? An anti-clumsy plunker device. Yes. Basically it's Mike Mountain, or Dad as we all call him. Makes these little things out of plastic card. It's like a little rack, and you've got 3 slots just big enough to put these in, and then 2 little slots at the end for like microsol and microset. And they're brilliant. They're not actually for sale, they just make them for fun. But they do work perfectly. Smooth, you really should just get them actually retailing, because they are brilliant. I want to see an advert on TV one day that says Smooth Industries quality tat. Because although, you know, the guy that ran that jewellery shop in the 80s, whose business went bust when he described his jewellery as just rubbish. Ratner's, that's it, Jerry Ratner. For those outside the UK don't know, there used to be a jewellers called Ratner's, and they were like budget cheap crap basically. If you couldn't afford a nice ring or an expensive watch or anything, you go to Ratner's and they'd sell you a cheap crappy sovereign ring or a watch, like a cheap jewellers for the common masses. And it was a really successful business till it one day stood up in a dinner party, he was giving a speech, and he described his own company as just selling like tat and crap. Cheap, piled high and sold cheap. Strangely enough, his company instantly like just collapsed and went out of business. Funnily enough, I don't remember the point I was making. Yeah, but so yeah, Smooth Industries, if they went legit and actually did products, they could actually say quality tat, but with irony, so it would be acceptable. Welcome to Smooth Industries. Proud creators of quality tat since 2019-28. Now you're going to have dried cricket parts glued to your mat, says Lynn. Nah, they were hoovered up. I don't think Tamir Extra Thin. I'll say that again. I don't think Tamir Extra Thin actually adheres mandibles to plastic. Mandible. I like that word. Mandibles. Good morning, George. Your mandibles are looking fine this morning. Well, thank you, Terence. I've been working on them. Perfect. You must let me know your secret. Well, it's a special product I bought from JML. Yeah. Don't know where I was going with that. All I've got is glue fumes now. It's a bit gluey around here. It's a bit stinky. Not only am I now hot and sweaty, I'm also hot and sweaty and a little bit loopy perhaps because of fumes from the glue. Hello. It's not really that bad. Let that be a lesson, folks. That's why you put your lid on your glue all the time. Somebody please beat my record on Year 5 cutting mat in less than 6 hours before knocking over a bottle of extra thin. Yeah, I've not beaten that one yet. This is a good few months old before And I knew glue could knacker it, and I knew paint would make a mess, but I never thought weathering powders would take the pattern off. That's what happens when you try and... I made the mistake. If I just cleaned it with IPA straight away, it would have been fine. It would have come off. But what I did was I tried using airbrush cleaning fluid first. Just sprayed some. I've got some airbrush cleaner. I sprayed that on the desk, and that just munged it in even more. I'm like, oh, flip. That was a bad call. Wait, what I missed out? Who collapsed overnight? It's Andy McLeish. Ratner's Jewellers. When the owner Ratner said that his company just produced crap products as a joke, and after dinner speech, which then got reported in the press, and everybody was like, right, we'll never buy your crap again then, and they went out of business. That's one leg. I do like all the extra detail in these suits for the Primaris Marines. Put the lid on. Yeah, I'm not making that mistake again. Lid is on. Foxx, those crickets correct scale for Warhammer dios. They're probably about the size of a really big dog compared to a Space Marine. What have I missed? What have I missed? I had to run out to get my food, says Nim. I spilled my glue. I ate me crickets. Now I've got a runny nose because of all the glue fumes. Let me get a bit of tissue. Hang on, where's me kitchen roll? Oh. I've got glue fumes everywhere that are making me just a little bit jolly. So I'll have to open the window. When I open the window, of course, I'll get all the humidity from outside and it'll all go horribly wrong. They're no crickets, they're Tyranids! The Jiminy Fleet, says Nate Bliss. I like that. 21 and 22 is what I need. 21 onto 22. We'll get this chap assemblated. I think we'll call it a show. Just surprised me how quickly these 3 hours go. You know? I mean, I could go for longer, but I'd have to go and have my tea. But I hope you noticed, by the way, that at no point during any of these live streams have I ever had to go for a wee. I'm quite impressed by that. Let's have a look. Already 1 AM in my country. I'm going to leave you guys. Fox, good luck on your model making, says DJ. Thank you very much for coming in. Do come again next week. I'm here every Sunday at 3 PM GMT, BST. You're more than welcome. Do come along. But thank you for popping in, dude. Nim and I went on a science waffle. Andy Butcher, got to run. Have fun, everyone. Thanks for coming, Andy. I'll be wrapping up shortly. I'm just going to get this leg stuck on and sorted out, and then we'll call it a show. An important lesson: if you're using Zero Paint's diamond finish, make sure you clean the bottle of hardener before you put the lid back on. Yeah. Otherwise, the hardener does what hardener do. Seems strange that I'm not using the seam line removal tool for this, but they're just too small. It's only a very faint seam line, so I can quite easily use the knife blade without munging up all the little details. He's not an Imperial Guard, let's put it that way. Some of the worst seam lines on those guys. But then they are very old. Do 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 do. In response to Joanna saying Nim and her went on a science waffle, Spid says, is that like a street waffle? Lol. Oh, Spid. Hey, so anyway, yes, any important news? Anyone excited for Fallout 76? I kind of admit, at first I was like, online, it's going to be like a Rust or a DayZ clone. I'm out. I'm no interest in that at all. I don't want to spend hours building a settlement for someone to come along and just trash it. However, news has come out now that maybe that's not quite right. That it's basically, it's going to have a story and a campaign and stuff. It's basically just Fallout 4, but with the thinking is now it might just be basically Fallout 4 with co-op. A bit of co-op going on. A bit like, you know, Destiny meets Borderlands. And I'm thinking, well, that'd be kind of cool. That would be alright. You can join up and play with your buddies, or just play solo if you want. Borderlands is good, Destiny's good. If it kind of comes out like Destiny, where it's just like you're in a world and you can co-op with your mates, and there's other people there, but they can't necessarily do anything, that'd be cool. I'd be alright with that. But it's the thought of, you know, if I start a settlement and then other players can come in and just trash it and steal all my stuff, well, that's kind of crap. I want that. So we'll see. It's all just speculation anyway. Nobody knows until it's only going to be a few days. It's next Sunday they actually have their press conference and announce it anyway. So we'll see what comes out. Hopefully, there are rumours of this remastered Fallout 3, which, if it was actually imported into the Fallout 4 engine with first-person shooting and stuff, that would be epic, and I would be all over that like a shot. But I don't think that will happen. I know it's coming out on the Switch. Fallout 3 anniversary. We might see Starfield at their press conference. That'd be interesting. Whatever their mysterious new sci-fi franchise we know nothing about is. That could be interesting. Wait, Fox plays Xbox. I plays Xbox, says Andy McLeish. Yeah, pretty much. Dave says, yes, new PC on the way in 2 weeks' time for YouTube and Fallout 76. Yeah. If it is just basically Fallout with kind of a bit of co-op functionality thrown in, because let's be honest here, this is Bethesda. They kind of do everything a bit half-cock anyway. So we'll see. I just don't like if it does. It is like kind of. I'll get some words out. The rumour now is not so much it's just a clone of Rust and DayZ, but it's kind of inspired by. Which is like, okay, well, that might be better. I don't want to be like, I'm suddenly in the world, I've got no anything and I have to start from scratch. Like in Rust, you start off as just a naked dude on a river bank and you have to start from scratch. But the thing is, you could start building a shelter and making rocks and stuff, and then somebody who's been playing for a lot longer could just turn up with a shotgun and kill you and take all your stuff, which is like, that kind of sucks. But if it's just inspired by, then that might be a bit better. I could go for that. If it's just Fallout 4 with co-op, that might be sweet. I could definitely go for that. At the end of the day, it's more Fallout. I mean, you're not going to complain anyway. The only thing I don't like is that they've actually put it up for pre-order, but they haven't said what it is. And that's Jason Schreier, who writes for Kotaku. Some people have been hassling because he leaked this information that he knew, and they said, why have you done that? He's spoiling it. And he's like, no, I wouldn't have done it, except Bethesda are expecting people to go and pay 60 quid for it without knowing what the game is, which is a bit unfair, a bit disingenuous, because a lot of people would think, oh, it's going to be like Fallout 4, it's the next Fallout. But if it's not, then they've paid 60 quid for something, and it might not be what they want. He said, so if they'd said what it is, so people could make an informed decision, then he wouldn't have revealed those leaks. So he's kind of said he's just doing a, hey, before you go and plonk down 60 quid to pre-order this game you know nothing about, you might want to know that it's not potentially just going to be a normal Fallout game. You might be interested to know that. Okay, so that's him done. Him done. Right. Oh, got an itch. Right, so that's them done. I've built bits of 4 dudes. Hooray! So I've got 4 Primaris Space Marines on the go. Let's put them in the right. That's 1A, 1B, 1A, so that's them 2. He's a 1B. 1B. I'm only marking them like that so I know when I get to doing weapons and things I can know which is which. I've just realised that I never actually plugged my iPad into the mains, and it's still on 67%, and it's been going all throughout the stream. Cool. Right, let's get chat there. Right, so I think that's probably going to do us. A quick tube before we call it a day. Not done bad, glued 4 dudes together a bit. Enormous coffee. Hopefully I've been in shot. I've still not quite got used to where the camera is. We'll have a last quick look at the chat. I'll just get this litre of coffee out of my moustache. Hang on. Oh, somebody asked me the other day, I mentioned that is my beard a big problem, because I've got this big beard now. Is it a problem in the hot weather? I'm like, no. It doesn't make me hot at all. It just collects coffee like a bugger. What have we got? Just coming to the end of Fallout 4, says Gerwin. That thing is terrifying, Andy. Bugs should be small. If you've not played Fallout 3, I do recommend Fallout 3. It's clunky as hell. It's not got first-person iron sights, but it's an awesome game. Need more info on 76 before I decide. Yep, should know by next Sunday. I remember GeForce, Dave, Battle of the Planets, 7's Arc 7. Did you know that in Europe and America, in Japan, they didn't have 7's Arc 7 doing the little commentary between bits of the episode? That was added for outside Japan markets, and they removed a lot of the violence and put 7's Arc 7 saying, so they had this big fight and everything happened, instead of actually showing the violence. As long as it's not another yet another Battle Royale, says Zadster. I don't think it will be. I think rumours are that it's nothing to do with the Battle Royale. Because don't forget, Bethesda put a thing out saying we support the single player. I think they'd be idiots to sort of say basically no first single player campaign. Hi Fox, says John Bennett. Hi John. Tell me you've not just turned up. Hey John. Trying to figure out what it says on Fox's t-shirt. Can see part of it reflected in the tablet. It says no given, and in the middle is the cartoon character of Fox, so no Fox given. See, it's available in the Boom Hut store, strangely enough. If you go to the Boom Hut, click on the sticky post at the top, it takes, I think it's available in the Boom Hut store. No Fox given. It's a good t-shirt. Oh, that meant to say, by the way, if you don't know about the Boom Hut, it's a Facebook group I run. Most of the people in chat are in it. It's an awesome. There's about 3,500 members so far. It's dead cool. Everybody hangs out. There's no bitching, no snarking. Go to facebook.com/groups/model Boom Hut. And if you are a member, don't forget, you might not know, but we do sell merch. There are t-shirts and mugs and things. So the sticky post at the top of the page. My beard collects a lot of Marmite, says Tony Blackwell. So does mine. My beard doesn't collect a lot of food, but it's a pain when I'm eating a curry and I take a big mouthful in a piece of chapati, and a lot of beard hair goes in with it, and it's like stuck in my teeth. And I'm like, oh, like it's the bestest hut, says Spid. Boom Hut, Boom Crew. Yay! Finally, I've finished the braiding, says Nim. Wow. My chair is. I don't know why my chair's squeaky all of a sudden. I don't know. Dave's Barker finished Fallout 4 as a Railroad Institute and Minuteman. Well, I finished as Railroad. I didn't get involved with the Minutemen too much because goddamn Preston Garvey. Another settlement needs your help. There is actually a mod to make him only give you one quest at once if you're on Xbox. I was like, yes. I thought the Minutemen were just a bit pathetic and weedy, but they were noble-hearted but a bit useless. The Brotherhood of Steel were just assholes. The Institute were assholes. The Railroad are kind of assholes. I didn't know who to side with. I think in the end I just sided with the Railroad. So there you go. The Minuteman is the hardest to do, and the Brotherhood only slightly dislike you. Yeah, the Minutemen I was like, eh. I mean, I think I'm sleeping with like Preston Garvey, Kate, the Piper. I think I got like to that level of friendship with all of those three, but I can't remember. I might have done all the Minutemen stuff. At the end I decided to stick with the Railroad because the Minutemen can't fix anything. Klaus Flugelschwanz is in. Hi Klaus. Just right at the end because we're coming up to the end now. I do apologise. Sorry. We're just doing the little wrap up. let's have a quick look and see where we're up to on the health-ometer. We are down to, where's my hand? 73047 out of 100,000. So I've gone down 4 bars. So you're taking a good 2 and a bit bars off me today. So jolly good. You've got the last few minutes if you want to try and take a little hit on the health. I think we'll go over another couple of weeks before we get me down to 0 when somebody wins a Warhammer kit. But don't forget, if you've got a few minutes, if you want to, you can do a tip. That will take my health down. You can do a super chat in the chat here. That'll take my health down. Or if you're not subscribed to this channel already, you can just subscribe and that will take a little bit of my health off as well. Remember, you could win a Warhammer kit of your choice. But I think we'll be going for a few weeks with that. I'm quite enjoying it. It's quite good fun watching it go down slowly. Who will win? Who can say? Oh, I forgot. Fox, did you ever attempt to solve that puzzle? Says Joanne. I've not looked at it yet. I've got it there still. I've still got it. I need to clear my inbox out of all the things to post out and then I'll have a look. Because I've got a trillion things in my inbox at the minute, which is a bit rubbish. Just to remind you, if you missed at the start, all the stickers and prizes from the last few weeks, now I've had Patreon payday, I'll be sending those out. I'll be going out tomorrow to the post office with like 1 million envelopes and some boxes. So they'll be coming out to everybody who's won stickers and some of the model kits and the book over the next few days. Yes, you will have your prizes. Apologies for having to wait so long. I have to do them in batches between Patreon paydays because I have to pay for shipping and stamps and stuff like that. So there you go. Oh, sorry for that, says Klaus. No, you don't need to apologise, Klaus. Not at all. It will be. You've come in at the end, but it'll be archived anyway in about 10 or 15 minutes. It'll be archived and you can watch back. I have noticed with YouTube though, when you do anything over a couple of hours, as soon as the stream finishes, you can watch from about 2 hours, from about an hour in onwards. Takes about 5 or 6 hours before you can see the whole live stream. Like the first hour is always missing for some reason. It's a right pain in the bum. Hello there, says Ghost Lyle. That's not pineapple. Stickers and crispy critter crickets. Whoop! Oh yes, I should do some more crickets before we go. For anybody that missed me eating the crickets. Yes, I should do that. Yes, for Spidey I will be sending some crickets. They're actually quite pleasant. But those are yours, Spid. Just to gross anybody out who wasn't here when I ate these. Those are your crickets. Honest to goodness crickets that I just ate. You miss me eating? Ah, they taste really nice. They are. I'll move out of the way because some people might be grossed out by that. But yes, I'll do some more before we go. But this is pineapple, 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 says Ghostline. Yes, but buffalo, 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 yeah, buffalo. Yeah, and mine's a real sentence. If you're free later, Fox, nip in the hangout for a chill. I might well do, matey. I've got to go and have me tea and stuff. We'll see how it goes. See how it goes. I've got some editing and stuff to do, so I might try and pop in. Here we go, over his shoulder again, says Gerwin Moores. What does that mean? Over my shoulder. What does that mean? What does that mean? I've got news for you. There is no bathroom. It's not a tumour. It's not a tumour. Anything else before we go? Lynn says, the end is near, so I'll say great show and bye. Night, night, buffalo, buffalo, pineapple, buffalo. Thanks for coming in, Lynn. I might see you later if you're on the Smooth thing, but if not, I'll catch up with you anyway. And Smoo and gang, yes, I will be sending out some stickers and stuff to you guys as well. Yeah, because I've got all your addresses, I think. Right, so I think we're about done. Let me get the crickets out. We'll have one last mouthful. For those who missed it earlier, actual crickets. I did eat them with my face, and they were most pleasant. They smell like pet store. Ow. Gone. Yum, yum, yum. I quite like those. Yum. That was a leg. Hey! Yum, yum, yum. A bit gritty. You do need a drink or something just because they're quite dry. So, yeah, so go out today and get yourself some crickets in a bag. I might try some. I might see if you can get actual edible mealworms. No more crickets. I've just eaten some. I've just eaten some. Just get some then. There's some left over. Might leave until after tea. Right, anything else I need to talk about? Yes, so stay tuned on... Ooh, see, I'm knocking things today. Stay tuned on either Monday... either Tuesday or Wednesday I'll be doing a live stream just like this for the start of the Strike Rouge Autori, the Master Grade kit I'm doing as a Patreon reward. I'm not sure which day yet, but I'll post up in the Boom Hut and on my page and Twitter and stuff whether it's Tuesday or Wednesday, and it'll be around about this kind of time, sort of afternoon. So I know some of you'll be at work in the UK, but I'll probably go on for quite a while. I might break for tea and then come back in the evening, so we'll see. So that's to come. The skitter's finished. The final part of the skitter is up now for patrons and will be available for everybody else on Thursday, so keep your eyes peeled. There was a video that went up last night at about 1:30 in the morning, which is how to do YouTube tutorial videos, little handy tips for those of you, because a lot of you have said you want to get into making videos on YouTube about all different things, but a lot of you about how to do models and how, showing how to do stuff. So I've done some little handy tips for you. Please follow the guides. Please don't film in portrait, or I will come there and get medieval on your ass. Don't film in portrait mode. Oh, if you film in portrait mode, I'll ban you from everything. You'll be banned. And if you come in the comments, I'll just laugh and point at you. What else? Any other news and opinion and stuff? No, not that I can think of. I will be going down to E-Models at some point to drop off the skitter diorama. So what I might do is, when I do that, I might see if I can hook up with Mike Mountain, with Dad and some others who can go down at the same time. If not, I'll just go down, but I'll probably let you know in case any of you are local to the area might want to pop in and say hello. You never know. Might be towards the end of the month. We'll see. Let's have a look. What's chat doing? I think barbecue flavour, the crickets, I mean. It could be a little bit. There's not a lot of flavour. Okay, I believe you, Fox, says Gerwin. I thought you ate them all just then. No, there's still some left. Hawkins Bazaar did mealworms in chocolate, Fox. Oh yeah, look at that. Lots of places sell human edible mealworms. Cool. Skitter is awesome, says Lynn. Thank you. Saw that one, Fox. Awesome sauce, says Annie McLeish. I use a video camera, says Lynn. Excellent. Not all of us can afford cameras. Some of us have to film on iPhones. People actually ask me what I film on. My old iPhone 5S, which is battered. Now you might wonder why I don't film on my iPhone 6 Plus or iPhone 6, which has a more modern. Because the camera on this, if you have an iPhone, by the way, and you want to do filming, the camera on the 6, this is a 6, is not as good as the camera on the 5. I mean, the camera's probably a bit better, but the software is not as good. This tends to overexpose everything. This doesn't. So I stopped using this. iPhone 5S, it's my old one. You can buy these for about 50 quid now. So if you're looking for a cheap camera to film on, see if you can pick up an old iPhone 5S and just don't use it as a phone. Just use it. There's no SIM card in there. Just use it as a camera. It's brilliant. I have my lavalier microphone and my data cable plugged in down here on a little adapter. So I have it, when it's filming, I'm plugged into the PC. So I can film, press stop, go to the PC, transfer that video file to the PC and delete it straight away. And the microphone plugs in there as well. You can get them for about 50 quid now. Dirt cheap. So if you're looking at starting to do YouTubes, you don't have to go and buy an expensive camera. This is a webcam. This is a Logitech C2 at 920. It's fine as a webcam. I wouldn't use it for actually filming this kind of stuff because although it's supposed to be 15 megapixel and this is 1080p, it's not quite as good quality as the image you get from that. So that's why I always film on my phone when I'm doing non-live stuff. Anyway. Adding on the 2 posts to this, says Ghost Lyle. I use this phone. Adding on the 2 posts. There's nothing wrong with using a smartphone, even if it's some Android nonsense. Although I don't know the advantage of an iPhone, and I'll tell you why I love using the iPhone. It might not come out on camera, but the reason I love using an iPhone for video is because if I want to set the white balance and the focus, I just do that. I can adjust the white balance there a bit, the exposure. That's it. I just touch the screen on whatever I'm filming, and that's it. My white balance and focus is locked. I don't know how it works on other ones. Some of my friends who've tried to use it on their phones say it's all kind of faffiness to do that on, say, Samsungs. Some people have problems transferring files from some of their Android phones to PC, where literally mine, you just get a USB cable from the iPhone to the PC, you drag it from one folder to the done. So, anyway. Later man, see you next week, says Lee. Thank you very much for your contributions, Lee. Lynn is saying bye, Lee. Taping your phone to a tripod is a pain, mind you. I've got one of these. It's got a sucky thing and it's got a grabby thing. Phone goes in there. Phone goes in there like that. That sticks to the underside of my angle poised lamp. This camera now is taped onto the top of my angle poised lamp. This just sucks underneath on the glass bit, and that's how I do it. I can turn that round. You don't need an expensive tripod either. It's not perfect, but it works. So there you go. Hi, missed you today, says Brian Costello. I know, we're just about to go home as well. Oh, Brian, no. I don't know. Love Huawei. I never know how to pronounce that. Huawei, isn't it? It's Huawei devices. The cameras are awesome. Yeah, they've been given some good reviews. Those Huawei. Sounds like I'm not doing a super chat. That reminds me of the Stargate, the movie where O'Neill meets the old guy from the caravan right at the start, and he gives him some chocolate, and the guy's like, Banny where? Anyway, I think that's going to do us, because I'm just talking nonsense now and treading water. Thank you very much for watching. As always, don't forget to go and check out the Model Makers Boom Hut if you're not a member already. It's a great community. Join in. All the cool kids are there. If you still want to do a tip, by the way, correction from last week, tips and things like that and subscriptions and stuff don't actually contribute towards my health reduction when we're not doing a live stream. You can still do tips if you want to do a tip and help keep this channel going. If you don't want to commit to a monthly patron payment or anything like that, you can't just do tips. That's 24 hours, that tip, Joe. You can do it any time you want. But if you do it during a live stream, it knocks my health down. But what's going to do is thank you very much for watching. Go take care of yourselves. I've got to go and cue the music up now, haven't I? Go take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. I'm trying to do this while I'm talking. Go be awesome. And until next time, adios, amoebas.